Gaming, everybody. Y'all know who it is. It's the new legal. Once again, very happy. I had missed my plane and I really didn't get a chance to get off today. But because of that, I'm able to make this very last show of the year. And I want to do this show in a different kind of way, a different kind of aspect. I came up with an idea, bumped into my mans again, and said, you know what? Let me reach out to him and see if he wants to have a little fun with this. Just in case I may not cover all my grounds. I got somebody else here that might bring up some things that I might have forgot. And it's going to be for good laughs. We're here today due to technical issues. We're sorry about earlier. It was a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. So we fixed everything. I mean, a couple reboots, all kinds of stuff was going on. Mixers back up. We sounded good. I'm glad everything turned out right. But this, y'all, is the end of 2019. So much has went on in 2019, from the rumors, from the lies, from all the hype, for all the things to come, for all the things that did come out, things that did not go as well as we thought. Hey, from the editors and journalists going crazy, making up all kinds of stuff, to the YouTubers out there clickbaiting and coming up with all kinds of stuff, and the gamers within these console wars losing their minds, and all this stuff on social media, man. I mean, it's just been one hell of a ride. But through it all, us gamers, we remain as usual, and we confine to our sectors, our proper sectors in these streets. And just like everybody else, they're comfortable to where they're at. Di-RREC Gaming is comfortable where it's at, and it resides over here on the green side of things. We over here in Di-RREC Gaming represent the Xbox community, in case you are new to this show. But we respect any true gamer out there, no matter the platform. We do have our sense of passion when we talk about our platform and talk about what we're a fan of, and it's nothing personal. But this, guys, is the year of 2019, and this show is going to be about the best of 2019. I got my man Shermanator in here once again, and I'm glad he was able to come around one more time, Sherm. One more time to do this ending show with me. I'm glad he's here, and we're going to come with some few discussions on what we thought were the best of times, the worst of times. And hey, I hope you guys like this show. We're up for some laughs. And hey, I hope everybody has had a happy holiday week. And I hope you had a Merry Christmas. And now I hope that you're going to have a Happy New Year's as well. Live through it, and let's get 2020 rolling, y'all. God bless everybody. Thank you for supporting Di-RREC Gaming, y'all. It's been one heck of a ride. We're still rolling. We're still here. We're still having fun. That's the main thing. We're still having fun. There's no other game that I could represent. There's no other mascot right now on the green side of things that I could represent other than Master Chief. And so I'm representing Master Chief. And let's go. Shermanator, my first one out the gate, man. I'm going to start this show off, man. My first one off the gate is that daggone Crackdown 3, man. The most underrated game of 2019. The most hated. It was the most hated. Shermanator, that game was the most hated. They were out to crucify it. And you know what, Sherm? They were out to crucify it because there was nothing else out there like it, really, man. It was unique. It may not have been up to its standards, and I get it. You know, I really do. I get why people was upset and mad, you know, because they got the right to be. I mean, when the game was projected out of its trailer, it ended up being nothing like it was shown to us on stage. It didn't end up like that. But Sumo, those developers, man, from Sumo, they did a heck of a job, man, with the story. Terry Crews did a heck of a job with the motion cap. The game was excellent. I mean, as far as gameplay, It was smooth. It wasn't no laggy game. It didn't have mess ups. You know, and that's you know, you gotta appreciate that. It was animated. It stuck to its comic book
Right.
lore. It wasn't like it
Right.
was off target. I mean, anybody who's played Crackdown 3 should have expected it to be looking just like it looked. I mean, if you was wanting to look realistic, then you haven't been playing Crackdown 3 or Crackdown. No, I mean not
Right.
Crackdown 3. Crackdown the series in general.
The series. Right.
Right. So I think there was a lot of jealousy about the game. You know, a lot of systems like that animated look. Animated looks on Xbox isn't something that Xbox tends to do a lot. And when they did do it, you know, it was Crackdown 3, 2019, and I think a lot of people they always want realistic looking games, man. They can never appreciate
Right.
some animation, and that game, for it to come out the way it did and catch that much hostility was just ridiculous, man. I mean, it's just video games, people. I've seen worse, so that's how I know. That's how
much
I
worse.
know. I've seen worse.
Much worse.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So
Data
yeah,
center's
straight out
just
the
enough.
gate,
Let's go.
2019, Crackdown, you get the most hated award, man. But we love you.
Yeah.
But we love you.
Oh man, that's funny. But wait, before I jump in,
Data center.
Yeah.
is that all
We've
that
got a
you got to
complete
say
set of data centers
regarding
for the station.
Crackdown?
We
No,
should be
you
able to
take
pull
it all.
down
Hey,
urgent
that's
move
what I wanted to
schematics and
start
find
with.
out
Oh,
That's
man.
my
central control.
that's my
Yeah,
2019 start. The best of 2019, people. Let's go.
Yeah, well, once again, first of all, let me just say, I
Access the
really
database.
appreciate you
Grab the data and current population
allowing me
map.
to hang out with you,
Should be a straight
do
shot
another
to
show with
central
you.
control.
Always have a great time, and
Still prowlers in the hangar
I
base.
just always look forward to
Nobody
us
from Oni got
getting
out of
together
here
and hanging
alive,
out
did they?
in this format and this fashion.
Let's go.
But I feel you on that. I want to jump right in and echo your sentiment. Crackdown 3, easily underline. And if you're on your cell phone, if you're typing on your computer or whatever, put it in all caps. Easily the most underrated game of any game released in 2019. And I'll be honest with you, not just on Xbox. I mean, yeah, it was an Xbox exclusive, but I'm talking about of any game release, period. Crackdown 3 received the most unjustified hate.
It was unjustified. Unjustified. Good word. Good word for that.
Without a
Good
doubt.
word.
It was completely unjustified. Now,
Central control
first
straight
of all,
across this bay.
I think it's important to mention
Everything's ripped up.
that
They must be stripping that experimental
it-
ship for parts.
Scavengers.
I don't.
Taking what
I try
supplies
to
they
be
can
even
find.
keeled about these things.
Coming into war against the Arbiter
Now,
must not
me
be going
personally,
well.
Jewel M.
I
Dharma is a lot of
absolutely love
things,
Crackdown
but he's
3.
no prophet.
And I'll go so far as to say, of all the new games that I've played this year, every new game that I've played that was released in 2019, pound for pound, if you take everything into account, for me personally, Crackdown 3 was my favorite game. It was my favorite game as far as fun factor, as far as gelling everything
go, Blue
together for what the developers were trying to accomplish. I think that they overall succeeded within the realm of content, gameplay, visuals. I mean, people, the past couple of years, especially with the release of the Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, there's always been that narrative of if anything was going to be released, well, is it going to play, how is it going to play on the system as far as, are the visuals going to be 4K native at 60 frames a second? That's always been or is it going to be selectable? Is it going to be 30 frames running at, is it going to be 1080p running at 60?
Right.
60 frames a second? Or is it going to be 4K running at 30 frames a second, et cetera, et cetera. It's always been that conversation of it always going to be some type of trade-off. Well, you know, in that regard, Crackdown did not compromise. Crackdown
Most direct route to
delivered
the shipyard is through the
60
wall
frames
ahead.
a second
Let's charge through.
in native 4K. Now, some would argue, well, yeah, look at the visuals, blah, blah, blah. But as Legal already mentioned, if you know anything about Crackdown 3's heritage, the Crackdown franchise, period, has always been one of a cell-shaded nature. It had that comic book vibe to it. So,
True.
yeah, sure. They could have gone, the developers could have gone a totally different direction and gone for a more realistic look, say like Gears franchise, for instance. They could have gone that route, but
That's
then one could argue that they would have been betraying their heritage. And I say, you know what? Stick with what you know and just enhance it. And that's exactly
right.
what they did.
Right.
If you, I can remember before the game officially launched and some pre-release videos came out for it, people were just like, you know, because it stayed within that cell-shaded nature, people were just immediately, I mean, just looking at still shots. They hadn't
No, you're
seen
right, man. You're
anything
right.
in action. They saw the still shots, and because it came out looking, keeping that cell-shaded genre, staying within that realm, people automatically began dissing it. Had not seen one frame of gameplay,
Right.
didn't know what you would be able to do, knew nothing of the storyline. I mean, the list goes on, and people just immediately out the gate, before the game was even released, they went on ahead and just immediately predicted doom and gloom for this
It
particular
was easy
title.
to do. You know, it's easy to do. A lot of
Oh, it
people
was
have this
very
notion now that, you know, it's easier to diss Xbox for views and likes. You know,
Well,
anytime
yeah, of
anybody
course.
starts talking about, anytime somebody starts talking about how good Xbox does, everybody wants to get mad at that person. You know, everybody wants to
Right,
start calling names
right.
without the person. But hey, man, it is what it is. Everybody doesn't like what you like. You know.
Well, yes, and then too, you know, at the end of the day, it's sad to say this, but the truth is the truth. If you got a YouTuber out there who wants to guarantee instant clicks overnight,
Area's clear.
Start
multiple
dissing
clicks,
Xbox.
hundreds,
right.
if not thousands of clicks,
You stupid.
just say something negative about
Hydrate
Xbox
here.
at Xbox.
You be the most
games,
popular
the
person,
X-
yeah,
oh,
for that night.
without a
For
doubt.
that night.
And again, and you and I both know, as well as pretty much everybody that's tuned in to this show right now, we all can name at least 4 different high-profile YouTubers who are literally making a living doing exactly that.
Oh, you know
I
that.
will not mention their names
Right.
because, as far as I'm concerned, the shameless should remain nameless.
That's it. And you want to know what's funny, Sherman? That you said that, and yet people will criticize the person on the ground level when they're acting silly, but they'll never attack those guys. They'll never say one word against
Well,
those guys.
Well, yeah, that's very true, and I have a theory as to why that takes place.
Exactly. We won't speak on that. We
I-
won't
I-
speak on that either.
Well, you know, look, it's just been
We're
my
gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it
that-
about games tonight. We're gonna keep it about.
Oh, for sure.
We're gonna keep about
For
games
sure.
tonight, sir. We ain't even gonna go on that,
For sure.
man.
No. I just want to say that the people who refuse to call those type of individuals out, that's because secretly, and some of them not so secretly, they're hoping that they can ride those coattails.
Right.
They're hoping that they can get, catch those trade winds, if you will, and get brought along for the ride.
Right.
It's disingenuous, but you know, hey, if they can go to sleep at night with that on their conscience, that's on them. Me, on the other hand,
Nobody's left standing.
you know, I
Let's
just
move on to
prefer to
central
keep
control.
it as genuine as possible.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I'm just going to leave it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Now back to
Central control
Crackdown
is through
3.
those doors.
That's right.
Crackdown 3.
Hunter.
I mean, seriously. Crackdown 3, pound for pound. And I have a prediction about Crackdown. Pound for pound, Crackdown 3.
Blue team, report.
As far as the third person
Sierra 117 to blue team, report.
of games.
Sierra 117, does anyone
Crackdown
copy?
3 offers arguably the biggest bang for the buck of any game released in 2019.
Right.
Again,
I mean, what could hurt it, man? I mean, it came out on Game Pass. That just messed up everybody's
that's
hatred.
First and foremost.
It made no sense to hate on a game that exactly, man. It made no sense to hate on a game that was given out there to the public. I mean, you either were gonna play it or you wasn't gonna play it.
Exactly. See, but here's what's hilarious. Here's what is hilarious about that, and you raise an extremely valid point. For all the hatred, and I can't help but laugh about this, for all the hatred that Crackdown 3 received even before it hit the market, the simple fact that it released on Game Pass day one, the simple fact that it released on Game Pass, Crackdown 3,
The domain is open.
as far as the
Meridian
amount
is
of
next.
downloads and
Cortana?
repeated gameplay,
John,
it was
the
in the first
reclamation
half
is about to begin.
of 2019, it was one of the most highest played games. It was one of the most played games in the first half. Because were curiosity.
That's true. That's true.
So,
Chief, what's wrong?
when you got Game Pass, and you're hearing ahead of time that, oh, this game's going to be terrible, it's going to be so good, people will
She's on
automatically
Meridian.
become curious to the point of saying, you know what, let me check this game out. It can't be as bad as they say. Or let me see how bad this game really is.
Right.
And what wound up happening with Crackdown 3 is that
You said she was
people,
gone.
I mean,
watched her.
thousands of people,
We have a mission to focus on.
And
We can
depending
talk about
on
this later. Lights
which
on.
figures you
Frederick,
believe,
get us back on
I've
course
seen
for
figures
central
as
control.
high as the hundreds
Bringing
of
up
thousands.
schematics. There's an
People
elevator
played
we
it
use, but access
and
is 4
actually
levels down.
realized
Mark a path.
that, hey, this is pretty good. I mean, even I have seen YouTube reviews. You know, you've got your YouTube previews, and then you've got your YouTube reviews.
Right.
Now, with Crackdown 3, there were numerous previews that talked about the game based on the qualifications that I mentioned earlier. They saw these still shots, and they're like, oh, what is this? Oh, this game looks like trash, blah, blah, blah. Those were the previews. Then when they got their hands on the actual product, and they put some time into it, I saw many a review where they were saying, like, you know what, this game isn't as bad as I thought. Or in some cases, and I tip my hat to the particular individuals who actually went back and issued a correction and said straight up, like, you know what, my preview was wrong. This thing is actually really good. It's actually a lot of fun.
Right.
You should check it out.
Hostile contact.
There were videos all over the internet that made corrections about how they were wrong, about the previews that they put out about Crackdown 3, and that the actual
These are
product
facts. These are
isn't
facts.
bad at all.
Yeah,
now,
these are facts.
Now, here's what's interesting. And again, I try to be even keeled about things. So I think that a lot of the hate that Crackdown 3 got, it wasn't necessarily because of the single player aspect. Most people that I've talked to, most people whose reviews I've seen, where they issue good reviews and have good things to say about Crackdown 3, it was all about the
Elites,
single player
active
campaign.
camouflage.
Most people absolutely loved the single player campaign. The depth of the campaign is the things that you could do. The the DLC. I mean, come on. The downloadable content that the developers provided for Crackdown 3.
This area is clear.
Each one was better
We've
than the
reached
one
level
before.
2. Keep
That's
moving
true.
down.
I want to say they,
Chief,
and
what
correct
did
me if I'm
Cortana
wrong,
say to
I
you?
think they put out maybe
Not
6
enough. Something
altogether,
about Meridian.
5 or 6
Meridian's
different
back.
DLC packs.
If she's active,
All
what's
of
she
them
doing so
100%
far out on the
free. Now
frontier?
let's be honest, the content was so good on the DLCs, they could
Hunters.
have charged for
They're
it
keeping pace with
easily,
us.
and it would have been worth it.
Right. It
But
was
they
just
put them out for free,
exactly.
which made it better. And it was, I mean, the weapons packs, the flight suits, the vehicle packs. Oh my goodness!
That's right.
I mean, it was whatever you were doing in the game with each DLC that they released for free. I can't emphasize that enough. It totally transformed the game and made it even better. And let's not even talk about Keys to the City. I mean,
Keys to the City has
folks
always been
were like, "Oh my
always
goodness,
been bucked.
Keys to the City."
Keys to the City has always been
That was
bucked.
a staple.
That's
That
right.
was a staple within the franchise, and
That's right.
folks actually were thinking like, they'll never do it for Crackdown 3.
And they
and
did
then
it.
when they
Yep.
and they did it, it blew everybody's mind.
That's true,
because
man.
the stuff that you could do was just, I mean,
That's tough. That's right.
my
That's tough
my own
stuff,
my my personal opinion is that I don't know. You know, Phil Spencer has said, he's gone on record and said that he generally allows developers to do whatever they want to do with whatever product they create for the Xbox brand. And I respect him for that, because it gives these developers
Give 'em that freedom.
of autonomy and that freedom to do what they want. But if Phil was to ever issue a decree
Reach level 3.
of
One more
something
level down
that
to the elevator to
every
central control.
developer, especially first and second party developers, if he was to issue a decree that all of them would have to follow,
Covenant BattleNet just lit
I
up.
would love it if he
Covenant
would
ships
say,
exiting slip space.
every one of you
We're outnumbered here,
at
Chief.
some point
A few thousand to one.
has to release
Surrendering Argent Moon
some
is not an option.
downloadable content and
Neither
call
is
it
fighting
Keys
half
to
the
the
Covenant
City.
in close quarters.
Because
Then forget about
Keys
reaching
to the
central
city
control. The plan
within
changes
the
to asset
fran-
denial.
within the
We
franchise
scuttle
of
the Argent
Crackdown
Moon. Ship's
has
reactor
always
core
been
is
great.
near here.
But in
Same plan as
Crackdown
the perpetual
3,
devotion?
We overload the
They-
reactor.
they
at
set a
evac.
new bar.
Ship explodes,
I mean, they
destroying
really,
any ships
really did.
nearby.
The
So,
reactor is below the lab just
if
ahead.
you take all
We
of
can use
that
air
and add
ducts
it
to
all
travel between
together,
them, marking the access panel.
Crackdown 3 was definitely,
The most
Um,
hated. It's the most hated, man.
it was one of the most hated, but
Yeah, the unjustified hate.
so.
That's true.
Now, let me just say this
Made
real
no
quick,
sense.
and then we can move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. Go ahead.
Wrecking Zone, I think that's the number one reason why people hated on Crackdown 3, because of Wrecking Zone.
Right.
Wrecking Zone, I think the way
Our path to
Crackdown
the reactor
3
room
was
is through that
initially
lab.
talked about in its conceptualization phase, and then when they, kind of, remember back in 2014 when they did like a demo as far as the technology, the 100% fully destructible environment, and they
Exactly.
said, okay, when they released the demo, they were saying, well, this is what's going to be in Crackdown 3. So I think people figured, oh, well, this is what's going to be in the single-player campaign, and no matter what you do in the game, whether it's going to be single-player or multiplayer, this is what it's going to be like.
There's chatter about Julian Dahmer on
And then when
Covenant
that
comms.
didn't
New
happen,
arrivals say he's dead.
Somebody
I
cut
think
the head off the
that's
Covenant.
what fed
Bravo.
into the whole notion that, oh, you know what? This isn't
Hunters.
what we
They're
thought it was
strong,
going to be. It's
but
not what
slow.
it's really cracked up
Use
to
the
be,
lab equipment
et
to keep
cetera,
above
et
them
cetera.
and out of their reach.
And part of
Weapons
that,
free.
and again, I can't stress this enough. Part of that, I try to approach it in an even keel manner. I think part of that is Microsoft's fault, because if you recall, Crackdown 3 was delayed multiple times.
That's true.
And the reason why it was delayed multiple times wasn't because of the single-player campaign. It was because of the multiplayer, the Wrecking Zone campaign, the multiplayer aspect, and
Schematics show a path to the
specifically
reactor through
because
here.
of the fully destructible environment. Now, legal. Think about this for a second.
Go ahead.
And I want all the listeners out there who have played Crackdown 3, the single-player campaign, and the Wrecking Zone. Think about this for a second. If the single-player campaign
Hunters
had
down.
Reactor
exactly
core is just below us. Let's go.
the same attributes of Wrecking Zone, can you imagine how well that would have played, or how not well it would have played? Because if everything was fully destructible, first of
Right.
all, getting the orbs, there would be no challenge. I mean, think about it.
Reactor
The
core
That's
is
orbs-
facts.
ahead.
That's
You
true.
like
That's
this
true.
using bolt.
I'm agreeing with
Right,
everything
right.
you're saying. Everything you're saying is making perfectly
Right, let's go.
perfectly
Yeah,
sense.
I mean, it
man.
would have.
That's true.
It would have removed the challenge.
It's the
from the
orbs that
single-player
give you the
campaign.
challenge of that game. The orbs of that's the whole essence of Crackdown. That's
right.
right.
That's how
That's
you.
right.
That's how you basically transform your agent from just an average agent to like a full-fledged superhero.
Right.
Is a collection of those orbs and the different types of orbs. Well, if you could totally destroy everything within your environment,
Yo,
well,
hold
then
on.
all the
Yo,
orbs would be right there.
Yo, hold
would be
on.
right there.
Yo, hold on, Sherm. Yo, Daily Jerome, it's not us. It's Mixer. They've already sent the message out to me. So you just bear with it, man. Bear with it, because it's something we can't fix right now. But I believe you. I believe you 100%. On your end, it's on the Mixer side. It's just something's going on right now. I think they're doing some fixing on it. There's been some updates to go out too. But go ahead, Sherm.
Right,
I just
reactor
wanted to let them know
controls are on the
that.
far side.
They
of the
were
room.
right. They were
Okay.
right. They wasn't telling us
Eliminate the
nothing wrong.
Covenant forces and get to those
Okay.
controls.
Yeah. So I think because of the fact, that Crackdown 3 didn't have the fully destructible environments 24/7. I think that fed into the whole notion of, oh, well, this isn't what they showed in the demo for it back in 2014. So, and then when the Wrecking Zone was implemented, because remember, Wrecking Zone didn't come out till about a month after the single player was released.
That's right.
So then
That's
there
right.
was that too. Now, my opinion, and then after this, I'm going to leave Crackdown 3 alone. I've got a lot of, man, I'm telling you, I have dissected this game.
Hey man, you
because
doing
it's
good.
my
Hey,
favorite- It's my favorite game.
it was the most
of
hated.
2019.
It deserves the most criticism, and it deserves the most talk. It was the most hated, dude. I love the fact that
Yeah.
everybody just went crazy about it, man. They lost their minds about it.
Yeah, they did. I mean, look, for me personally, and full disclosure, I haven't
Right.
played it,
Right.
but to me, Death Stranding was worse than Crackdown 3.
Oh, of course.
I mean, seriously.
Of
It
course.
just,
Didn't even make sense. You got a game that didn't even make sense, bro. I mean, any
Yeah,
game this
so-
year almost did better. Looked and I wouldn't say look better, but I mean made sense, made more sense.
right, made more sense than Death Stranding.
Exactly.
But you know what? I digress.
Right.
Crackdown 3, if with regards to
Still seeing hostiles.
the
Clear
rescue
them out
zone
so we can initiate the overload.
and the single player campaign, and the fact that Crackdown 3 had gotten pushed back, what, at least 4 times?
Right.
At least 4 times. My opinion is that if Crackdown 3 had released, maybe not when it had its original release date, maybe if it had gotten pushed back once, I could see once, no more than twice. If it had released within those first two,
Area's
those first
clear.
two release
Initiate
dates,
the overload.
if it didn't get pushed back at all, or if it got pushed back once or twice,
Yo,
I think that there would not have been.
yo, what's
much
up, Prophet?
Reactors
Yo,
overloading.
Prophet.
Move
You're
for the hangar
exactly
bay.
right, man. Hey, we got Mixer guys in here speaking some truth, bro.
Containment.
Crackdown 3 costs more
Okay.
to use than Spider-Man. That's
I
facts.
guess you and
And,
SC
and,
is
and you
better
want
reactor
to know
safety
something?
protocol than the
Look,
Covenant.
we're getting off of
We
Crackdown
can
3
stop
now.
that.
We just spent too
Board
much
the
time.
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
We spent way too much
but
time on.
I just,
If you move, we
but I
should
just
go
love
with
the
it.
game. I love the game, man.
You're right,
And yeah, it was the most hated. It was the most hated, but it was also the most unjustified.
That's true. I can agree with that
receive
100%. And before we do leave it, you touched on something I wanted to say. That on Red Zone, if it lived up to its hype, Crackdown 3 could have been one of the most unique,
Yeah.
unique was about it. I mean, unique experience
Climb
Yeah.
on the reactor before the
that
station
we've
attacks
ever
it.
had because you gotta understand something. It's not the developer's fault. We know that now. It was Microsoft's fault by
No.
not having the tech
No.
ready for it because this was supposed to be a
Right.
cloud tech game, and the cloud tech
Right.
wasn't ready for the game. So the developers then had to do what they had to do was work with what Microsoft had. So that was kind of
Right.
an L on Microsoft at that point, and they know it.
Right.
So that's why they did everything they
safety
could
systems
for
are set to
Crackdown 3.
pump coolant to
Now,
the reactor.
the next moment of
This whole plan
2019
fails if that
on
coolant
my
gets a
list,
chance to work.
and Shermanator, you can chime in on
Shame to
anything
lose
that
the
you think
Argent
that's
moon,
on your list too.
but I'd
But
love to see
I'm
the
trying to
Nickel
go in
Covenant's
order
faces when she
as the
goes
best I
supernova.
can, y'all, and help me out here on Mixer as well. But the next one was Metacritic, the abuse of Metacritic. Because
No,
we're gonna go full circle
There are
on
sheds
full
located on either
circle.
side
Meta
of the
who?
Not
cooling
just full
chamber.
circus,
Those are
Meta
but
who?
full circle on
Reach the
Metacritic
control
because
sheds.
Metacritic
Get
came
the
back
cooling
to bite a
system
lot of
offline.
people in their mouth, right?
Oh,
But
man.
what's so funny
Yeah.
is how they started using Metacritic towards our exclusive console games like Sea of Thieves.
Man.
And what got me was Sea of Thieves and State of Decay, right? Got all this hate. It got all this hate, right? And then the next thing you know, it was those games that were still getting played. Those games were still growing. And yet,
Yeah.
all these games that they wanted to put on Metacritic to look good, they're dead. Nobody's playing them games. Sea of Thieves, enter. State of Decay 2, enter. Let's talk about it. I think State of Decay 2, one of the best open apocalyptic zombie games of this generation. Hands down. Hands down. Permadeath, being able to die and just Prophet 685 says Record
How
Zone
do we
is just
stop
fun
it?
as hell. That's all
There
he
are
sees.
sheds
I mean,
located on either
it
side of the
is.
cooling chamber.
At
Those
the
are
end
our
of the day, it
targets.
is fun
Yeah.
as hell.
Reach
Nobody.
control sheds.
Look, I know we
I
went
am
back to
cooling
Crackdown
systems
3, but
offline.
nobody's gonna. Nobody. No, seriously, nobody's gonna argue that. It is. It is
No.
fun as hell. But I just
But
wanted to say, I just wanted to say, not Crackdown. I just wanted to say, State of Decay 2 and Sea of Thieves belong in that same family, right? Because they were trying to abuse those games through Metacritic, and they couldn't win.
tried.
They tried,
That's
and
right.
it didn't
That's right.
work. It literally did not work.
No.
And
no,
once
it didn't.
Metacritic
Not at all.
failed them, once Metacritic failed them, they had nowhere else to go, man. And that was the beginning of I'm be honest with you. That was the moment that I felt like was the beginning of the Xbox revolt. And we started fighting hard, man. I mean, we always had something to say when we didn't see that things were right. We started calling it out, man. After that, I mean, it was like, we're not taking no more of this crap. You know, we started standing up for our games, man. We started standing up for our console. You know, and that was the beginning, to me,
Yeah.
what started that revolution, man. And we weren't gonna listen to all this bullcrap no more, and all these lies and all this stuff, because it was quite evident that the same people that were making these criticisms wasn't even playing the game, bro. They wasn't even playing the
Shades are
game.
still closed on those
You know,
coolant
it was
pipes.
almost as
Find a
if
way
it
to
was
open
like you said, if it was an Xbox game, it was just easy to get the views on. It was easy to clickbait.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because it's really it's a bit frustrating. It's unfortunate. Let me just put this question to you. Have you noticed that it seems
Why did I do that?
everything okay?
No, I jumped out of my ship, man. I literally jumped out of my ship.
Oh,
Probably said I
Stop it.
can't play State of
There are
Decay
sheds
because I won't
located
get
on
off. I'm
either
telling
side
you,
of the
man.
cooling chamber.
Especially if you
Those
have
are
a
our targets.
4-player co-op, you
Reach
will
the
not
control
get off
sheds.
that game.
Get the
Well,
cooling
well,
system
You
offline.
literally
Well,
won't
you
get
know-
off that game.
yeah. But see, you made a very important point. State of Decay is arguably one of the most thought out zombie post-apocalyptic games ever created.
Right.
It's one of those things. The level of threat, for lack of a better term, the level of stress that game can induce, because like you said, the whole permadeath concept, and then also the fact the permadeath thing, there's that, all right, so just within your own character, but then the simple fact that you are directly or indirectly, depending on how you choose to play it,
Right.
or depending on the crew that you're playing with, you're directly or indirectly responsible for their well-being.
That's true.
And that includes your NPCs. So, it's one of those games where you have to really, resource management, it takes that to a whole
Shades are
nother
still
level.
closed on those coolant pipes.
And
Find a way to open them.
a lot of people, and again, this is just a theory of mine, but I think a lot of the reviewers, and especially the whole Metacritic thing, I have a whole lot of disdain
Yo,
for Metacritic
I see you,
at this
Vodka.
point.
I see you, Vodka. Major point here. Metacritic and VGAs are like the SATs. You get points for a PlayStation marketing deal. That's facts, man. Nobody, you know what, brother?
No, yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Shout outs to everybody on the Mixer side of things, man, on the Twitter side of things, because I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. You guys really impressed me, man. I'm gonna tell you, this is 2019, the best of 2019, and you guys are part of that best. You guys are the part of that best, because the comments that y'all say is almost it's the direct reason why I made this platform. We love hearing from our community, and our community are not blind ducks. I hear some of you guys' comments, and people like me and Shermanator are just honored to be a part of this community, because you guys are not blind. You see what's going on. You see the dumb stuff, and don't get discouraged because you see it and people call you a fanboy because they want to call you stupid fanboy or something like that. It's not being a fanboy. It's about seeing it, man. It's just clear. And people who don't like that, they can't stand the fact that you know it. So shout outs to everybody out here on the Mixer side of things, on the Twitter side of things, your comments. The new legal sees them, and man, like I said, it just makes people like me feel good to know that I'm a part of the community that's not really dumb. Y'all are not dumb by far, bro. You're not dumb.
Right.
See this stuff.
Right.
That's why we're talking about it. That's why this show is called The Best 2019. Y'all's voices are just as important as ours, that you can hear, even though they can't hear y'all's. I'm gonna make it a point to speak on it. So any comments y'all have in that sector, man, we'll stop, we'll pause, we'll talk about it. We appreciate you guys, man, and we want you guys to have a happy New Year, man. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, it's just that with State of Decay 2, State of Decay, State of Decay 2, first of all, has to be applauded for the simple fact that they took everything about the original State of Decay and just, gave it a healthy shot of steroids, and improved on the first one in every way possible. Is the game fun? Of course. Is the game intense? Definitely. Can the game be frustrating? Yes, it can. But, I mean, again, it doesn't... What I appreciate a lot about State of Decay 2 that I think honestly got a lot of hate is that the game did not hold your hand.
Right.
It really did. It was
didn't.
as if, it was one of those things where it literally, in a game format, basically drops you down in the middle of this post-apocalyptic zombie environment and just left you to your own devices, as if to say, like, you know what would you do if this was really, really happening? I mean, seriously. And they tried to make it as realistic, of course, within the whole zombie genre, as realistic as possible. And
Right.
I think a lot of hate that it received was from people who either didn't want to put in the work, or people who were paranoid about it from the standpoint of like, man, you mean to tell me if I do all this work and if I build up my resources and if I do this, that, and other, and the whole permadeath concept, if my character is gone, then that's it? Well, yeah. So it's going to make you really think about your every decision. It's going to really make you, you're going to have to really put forth some thought and some effort and not be careless. Because as anyone who's ever played that game will attest to, if you get sloppy, whether with your own character or with the people you're working with, that can make
controls.
all the difference in the world.
It's true.
So I give the developers a
Override
huge
activated.
shout out for what they did with State of Decay, and that's another one
Coolant
that
system
had
inner
some
workings are
great
exposed.
downloadable
Eliminate the
content.
target's blue.
Hey, Dr. Vodka said
Please, we can
people
target
cry
the place
about
more
realistic
easily from the
graphics
air.
on
The
SOD2.
Armada's been alerted to our
But
presence.
then if you had
Reinforcements
that,
inbound.
none of
We're
that
sending
gameplay
phantoms.
would be there. Like, we need Days Gone 2 on Best Box. That's true. Facts. Facts. Nothing else to say about that. Facts. That's just facts right there. Because we know already that in this current generation, it's going to be sacrificed. We know that. There's no getting around it. So either you're going to have the visuals like he said, that's going to sacrifice the gameplay, or you're going to go with gameplay and sacrifice some of the visuals. Now, Xbox has come up with a good plan about that by making things 1440 and giving you a solid performance on your frame rates. 1440 is not
Right.
bad in this current generation. The visuals look great. Look great.
Right.
So he's right. He's absolutely right. Go ahead, Sharon. Yeah, about State of Decay. Yeah, that was
that's
to me
a very valid
that's,
point.
that's exactly right. We're looking
That's
for
an
true
extremely valid
balance.
point.
And okay, Deli Drone said gotta go have a good one. New Year's Eve here, nearly time. Get my drink on. Have a good. That's right, bro. Representing Australia. Deli Drone out there, man. Yo, he's already. I know it's so funny, man. I love the Xbox community. That's right. He's already about to start on his. That's right, man. Hey, God bless, man. Thank you. And be safe, man. Be safe. Be safe, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yes,
Get
sir.
through the year, man. Get through the year. But yeah, man. He's exactly right. And State of Decay, man, is such a mature zombie game. It's not a zombie game where you're gonna just go around. Oh, let me kill some zombies and don't pay the price for it, man. You get out there and you don't. It's a zombie apocalypse for crying out loud. You have to manage your resources. And by doing that, man, shout outs to shout outs to what is it? Dead Labs for
Yes.
Undead Labs for making a
Undead
game
Labs,
like
yeah.
that. For making a game like that that we can all appreciate and know that it's not a casual zombie game. So we wanna say we appreciate that, and State of Decay as
Yeah.
one of those games too, man. They got a lot of hell in 2019.
Well, and let me just
Blue
say
team,
this.
evac
Keep
now.
in mind, folks,
Banshees aren't fast enough to
that
get clear of the
State
reactor
of Decay
explosion.
2
Calling in
was
the
created
Pelicans.
before Microsoft got their
No
hands
signal on autopilot
on
retrieval.
Undead
Alana must
Labs.
have taken it out.
So
Frederick, find the nearest
now
hangar
that
bay.
they're part
We're
of
taking a
the
prowler.
Microsoft family, and they've got unlimited resources, literally unlimited resources. If they decide to do a State of Decay 3, or if they decide to do a totally new IP, I mean, they've already, as far as I'm concerned,
This station's about to be
Undead Labs
slag. Move
has
to the prowler.
already proven
There's the hangar
themselves as
entrance.
far as their creativity
Prowler is just inside, through an airlock.
and the thought process that they put into what they create. And that's with limited resources. What are they going to do now that they've got unlimited resources?
That's facts, man.
I'm really looking forward to the next thing that they've got, whatever it is that they're cooking. I'm really looking forward to the next thing that they come up
There's
with.
the prowler.
But
That's
the
facts.
hangar's
So
full of Covenant.
that's what I got to say about that. Yeah.
Clear them out.
Um,
Prep for launch.
Number 2 out the
Quick,
gate,
I'd rather not be
for the
here when
most hate.
station melts around us.
Sea of Thieves.
That's number
man.
2.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, number
man. Number 3. Yup, Sea of Thieves, number 3. And Sea of Thieves, man, it was so funny because, once again, they tried Metacritic for the love of God to kill that game off, man. And they could not succeed. I mean, I was sitting here laughing like, this has to be in the Guinness World Records for all these yellow rated games, man. But are selling, but it's selling millions. It's selling millions, yet these are games that are brilliant, exact, and being played. Yeah, it was so funny, man. Like, it was too funny. It was literally too funny. And once again, another victory to the Xbox community for not allowing the industry to disrupt what's theirs. And I'm telling you, man, when I saw that, it made me proud because I'm sitting up here saying, there's a new day coming for Xbox fans. We're no longer sitting back allowing anything to rectify or to try to, like you said, unreasonably justify our games. You know, it just isn't gonna happen. You're gonna criticize it with some intelligence. Sound like you know what you're talking about. But to just come up with some nonsense, man, about our games, and we know you're not playing them,
Marking the prowler's
it's
control
just as
panel.
bad as that. It's just as bad as that that gaming journalist guy that was trying to play, like I said, Cuphead, and couldn't even jump from block to block doing the tutorial.
Right.
Yeah, but it had a lot to say about
Wait,
the game.
was that Paxter? Was that Paxter?
No, it was some
Michael
other.
Paxter?
No, it was somebody else. It was a
controls are here.
gaming developer. I mean, not a gaming. It was a gaming journalist.
A
It wasn't
journalist.
Michael Paxton
Right.
though. No, it wasn't him. Yeah, it wasn't
Okay.
him. I just thought that was an L moment, and it was an exposure moment for them because they've been doing this type of stuff. And you know what, man? That's the thing about the Xbox community. It's just hanging in here to the point where exposure is starting to happen. It's starting to occur, man. And they can't get out of it now. Like all the stuff, like you know, they talk about power. That's why I said the narrative isn't gonna change. Because you're going to have to stay talking about power. You're going to have to still talk about games. It ain't going to stop just because you guys aren't getting it. Oh, no. That's not how it works. You gotta go through this thing like we went through it. You got to get your kicks. Listen, the Xbox community, okay, we got whooped by the PlayStation community. Nobody's going to sit there and deny that. I'm not, because I relish a console war. I understand a true console war. I understand when you take a loss with numbers and everything like that. But that does not define the culture of that flagship, right? Just because PlayStation outsold Xbox doesn't mean it had the better games. Doesn't mean it had the better nice looking games. We all know that now. Doesn't mean it had the best performance of games. It just meant that it was the most casual and most popular game out there. Okay, you got the win on that. But at the same time, you have to realize that the community of Xbox fans have taken almost every blow that you could possibly give to us. We've listened to every stupid comment out there. We went through all of that. So now that we're still standing, we're not even bleeding anymore. We just have our battle scars. Now that we have just our battle scars, what else can you say now? I mean, you sound stupid now. Like you can't keep talking about resolution because that's gone. You can't talk about power because that's gone. You can't talk about games because that's gone. I mean, and even if you did, how is that supposed to hurt us now in 2019? Like, it gets old after a while. You got to come up with something new. So now that you don't have nothing new to talk about, you can't kick us down anymore. What do you think's gonna happen? You guys got to be prepared, man. Every great champion has to do what? Defend his title. You guys are gonna have to do something about defending that title because hey, PlayStation already knows you're not gonna come out the gate with that pocketbook. They already know what kind of gamers y'all are. Y'all sit and wait for them bargains. They already know that. That's why they don't. That's why they can't move forward because they know you guys are not the type to go out here and reach in your pockets and spend that money. So they're trying to figure out a way to make their next console look appealing and look cheaper by using cheaper mechanisms.
Right.
And by doing that, it's going to fail. And I told you, it's going to be inferior.
Yeah.
You know, you think you don't like Xbox now, you're gonna be in for a long 2021 year, man. Because Xbox ain't stopping now. Xbox the big boy. The Xbox is gonna look at them console sales last gen and be like, bro, we got amnesia. What console sales? We don't remember none of that stuff y'all did last generation. Y'all gonna wonder why they're not even paying attention to y'all. Telling you right now what's gonna happen. Because Microsoft is gonna be doing its own thing. That big bank is gonna showcase itself. And when that big bank starts showcasing itself, what's left? Ain't nothing left. You know what I'm saying? What else is there to do, man? I mean, Microsoft is at a point where it's like, listen, man, we done played the softball tournament. We lost the little softball tournament, but now we're here to play baseball. We're here to play the MLB. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
We're here to play big ball now. Major League Baseball now. We're not playing softball leagues. This isn't a retirement game. And they're gonna be dead on with it too when all this stuff starts popping off. So Sea of Thieves got hated on. I mean, the ocean on Sea of Thieves is probably the most graphical thing I've ever seen. The AI, it's compute. It's created from the cloud. It has its own atmosphere. It actually operates from the real-time weather sequences. There's no what I like about it is there's no duplicate wave pattern in that game. Every wave pattern you see
totally random.
That's right. It's totally random. It's totally random, brother. You can't get something like that on PlayStation. For PlayStation, the waves on Sea of Thieves alone will melt the PlayStation console. It will just burn it down. The waves, you know? We ain't even gonna talk about it. Right. It's too constructed, man. It's too constructed. You can't, you know, and for them to hate on a great, they was hating on it because it was cartoonish. Here we go again. It's cartoonish. Well, I mean, hey, man, every game doesn't have to be realistic.
Right.
And they know that. You know, stop fronting like you guys are in love with Crash Bandicoot and Ratchet and Clank. Just stop it, people. You know, at some point you gotta stop it.
Board now, blue team.
You gotta stop it, man. At some point they gotta stop it.
Clear.
It goes back to the whole quick phase.
My man said,
89 seconds.
Baka said, Sherm, the power narrative switched to the game narrative once the X came out. He's right. And the order of 1440p was pushing soupy resolution. That's fact. We come to find out, and you know that's funny because we come to find out years later about all of that. And how, and we come to find out that they were actually getting abused by Sony.
Negative infinity.
Sony was forcing them to do silly stuff with that game, man.
Right.
Whoever they are.
That came out
let's
later.
get to
Them
the
guys
radio
actually
before
talked about it.
No.
And you know
Yeah,
what?
No
You
need to
remember
do
when
this by yourself,
you're
Chief.
right, and he's right. And I remember when they made the article, Sony had to say that the order of 1886 couldn't be made on the Xbox. Remember that? And then years later, the article come out, and those guys said that we're here to say that the order of 1886 could work on the Xbox. You see what I'm saying, man? You don't get that kind of. What I'm trying to say is there's a different atmosphere, there's a different climatic environment over on the Xbox side. I'm glad that I'm not part of it, but the leadership does stuff like that. So I'm all about competition. I'm all about winning. I mean, you gotta keep it real. You can't fake the phone, man. And if you're being fake about this stuff and stuff, man, that just shows that you're a coward, man. That shows who you really are. So you allow Sea of Thieves to get all that hate, but yet Sea of Thieves has over 5 million players on it to this day. Still growing to this day. So enough of Sea of Thieves, man. We off of that one. We're moving right along.
A galaxy-spanning network
Cortana's
that
alive?
allows her to
They
control
got mad.
whatever devices caused this damage.
Because
Master Chief believes she contacted him.
E3 was coming.
No, John
And
must not speak to her.
They
He's gone in
just knew.
search of her.
Let him
Terminator.
go.
How is it
Nobody
And everybody
lets the
out there on
chief do
Mixer.
anything. He does what he wants.
They just knew.
Until
Notice I just say
06:31 this
they.
morning,
They
when it
know
was
who.
declared
They
absent
know
without
who
leave.
they
This
are.
isn't about the Master
John
Chief.
They
is not
just
equipped
knew
emotionally to deal with her as a
that
threat.
they were gonna get some
Is anyone
Sony
gonna answer me?
news.
You're out of
And
line, Roland.
Yes, sir. But so is everyone else.
And lo and behold, right?
You created Cortana, Doc.
Sony wasn't
And now you're
coming
throwing
to
her
E3.
out the airlock with these accusations.
Man,
Roland,
that
You
was
think she tricked the
one
Master
of the
Chief
most
into abandoning
hilarious
his
moments
post?
of 2019.
Respectfully, sir, to what end?
Sony, not at E3.
Why is Cortana the problem?
And you notice
Because she refused to die
You
when she was
notice?
supposed to?
how all the exclusives came up? Every excuse in the world for them not being there. That was hilarious, man. That was hilarious. The games they showed,
You're okay with this?
where were they?
Not just another target, you know.
State of Play. One of the
Every
biggest
target
jokes
is
out
just
there.
another target, Buck.
Showed nothing but indie games.
For you, maybe.
Nothing but indie games. And it has
I love being
transpired
an
all
ODST.
the way up to now. They still didn't give them nothing.
No, this
And
gray area
then-
of BS.
When they did want to show something, they gave them nothing
I mean,
but
how are you
trailers,
supposed to
man.
bring them in? That's
Nothing
polite.
but trailers. So once again, we get to E3 and Gears gets shown. Gears gets shown
Armor
with
restraint.
all its glory. And
Short-circuit
they
their
wanted to
suit
come and
systems.
hate on the game. They wanted to talk about how Kate is a protagonist.
The Lock.
And Kate's getting all this attention. They wanted to hate
Every other Spartan,
on the fact
Every
that, oh,
soldier,
now,
when they hear
why
about this-
why we have all these new elements in the game.
they're gonna
They
hate us.
they wanted to talk this game
You know
down
that, right?
so bad that
You're not the only
you
one
remember
here
how
because of him.
Microsoft did it? They played it so well that they gave us the trailers for it, and then they didn't even do anything else. They wanted to hear those responses. And so when Gamescom came, they dropped that bad boy with all that gameplay. And I remember all the YouTubers got up on there. Some of the people had got some early releases just to play a little bit of the Escape. And people were putting it on YouTube and all that stuff. It's wonderful. And yet, we still didn't get any campaign play. And I love that because they were trying to hate on that game so bad, man. I'm so glad.
Planet in 48. It was a UNSC colony then, but
Yeah.
they never came back.
Yeah,
Run by a private corp now.
Dope
chipping
Vodka
away the
said,
glass,
remember,
making her livable.
they couldn't make
Why
E3
are we
because they
taking
were
a long
working
way
on
down?
PS5. Exactly.
Because it's polite.
All the
Grew up on an
excuses
indie
in the
colony
world.
Like Meridian. Folks out here don't take
All
well to
the
UNSC
excuses in the
landing
world,
in
man.
The middle of town.
And
Tend
yet,
to see it as an act of
the
aggression.
PlayStation 5. You know, we're going to get on that
Speaking
one,
of
man.
acts of aggression,
Like I said, bring up some stuff,
Those
man.
are
If
Forerunner
I'm
ships.
skipping over stuff,
What the hell
bring
are
it up.
Forerunners doing here?
But I
Maybe we're not
like
the
the
only
way
ones here for the Master Chief.
Microsoft didn't get
Whoever
no
the hell
leaks.
is on my
No
elevator,
leaks on that campaign.
identify
And
yourself.
that campaign came out to
This
be
is
one of
Spartan
the best
Jameson
campaigns
Locke.
of all time
UNSC.
for Gears. I say Gears 5 campaign is right
whom am I
behind Gears 3. Right
Oh,
behind
agreed.
Gears 3. You know, because
For
you
sure.
can't knock out
Yeah.
the first three. The first
Yeah.
three goes hand in
Well,
hand.
he's
It-
gonna
it's-
get it
Right.
anyway.
the first three is
Yeah.
unfadable. But 5 did
Yeah.
beat 4 in my regards. And 4 is last right now, but 5 did it, man. I mean, they brought back
Yeah.
all the natural sound. And please, for the love of mercy, right? Bring back the natural sound of Gears. Listen, could y'all, and I hope y'all, look, do y'all disagree with me on this one? I'm going to stop real quick. I just want to talk about this one. What if, close your eyes and imagine a world, right? In a world where you buy a Halo game and the Halo theme song is something different than what you're used to hearing. There's no more, oh. Can you imagine playing a Halo game and never hear that? That's like, that wouldn't even sell. I think that alone would not sell, bro. Yeah, it did. Gears 5 did have so many oh shit moments. It sure did, bro. It did.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I want Gears to know, I want the coalition to know. I should say that because Gears knows what it is. But I want the coalition to know that I'm with you. You're learning. Black Tusk, a.k.a. now, as the coalition. I want y'all to know that I'm with you. I'm not against you. But you gotta understand something. The Gears culture is real, man. And there's a lot of people who took their time to build that bad boy. You can't take that culture out. Just listen to what I'm saying. It's just like the Halo culture. You can't take that song out of there. We've gotten so far away from just the music. We don't even know what Gears is anymore with that. There's no cultural tie. You have to keep that in there. Let me give them some props, man, because they've been taking so much negativity. They have. But let me give them some props. They did bring back that old black, bluish, greenish, grayish look in the game. A lot of dark gothic look. That's what Gears is. And they made those sounds come back when you get to a new checkpoint. Doom. You know, all that stuff. Those little type of noises, man, you know, is what we needed because those were the sounds of Gears. All those years, you need those sounds. You can't get away from it. We need that original Gears sound again. We need it because those songs, you know, what would Mario be without that song? What would Mario be without his music, man? You can't take that music out. You gotta keep it there. Right. Right. You will look at it like, what's wrong with this? And I think that's a problem with Gears 5. That part of it. But overall than that, they have been listening. They've been making the game better. Hey, there's a lot of matchmaking on that game. That game is beautiful, 4K 60 across all modes.
Yep.
I mean, you can't listen, man. You can hate it, you can beat it up, but it's the game you love to hate, man. That game set the bar. There's no other game out there that's doing what it does. Gears 5 is in a whole other category. It's in another lane. They haven't made a game yet that's like it. Not one game this generation that's like Gears 5.
What the hell are Spartans doing?
But I like the way
What's
they try
going
to
on?
hate on
Union
it.
Station
I like the way Microsoft did with
I
it,
got
and it
family
was
up
able
there.
to
They
succeed
ain't on.
and outsell
Osiris,
Ford.
the people of
And
Meridian
hey, on its
Station
first
need our
weekend, it
assistance.
had over
the hell
3
are
million
those
players on it for the initial early release. Not even the real release. It was the early
Not
4-day
even
release.
the main release.
That's right, brother.
Right.
So it was a massive hit, man. That's a massive hit. And for all those who are confused about it, oh, so he's over here talking about they sold 3 million. Bro, listen. Let me stop real quick.
Turret systems are off.
I want to make this clear. That there was no way in hell that you could play Gears 5 without paying for it for its early release, you had to either do one or two things. You either had to buy it straight out by way of Game Pass Ultimate for $14.95, or upgrade your Game Pass to Game Pass Ultimate for $1. That's the only way you could have played Gears 5 early release. So between Friday night and Saturday night, or Saturday night and Sunday night, which is considered the weekend, the extended weekend I believe is from Monday night to Tuesday night, but that's being too technical. But we know, because it's out there, what the official date was. It was that Friday night, and the game came out Thursday, Sherman. Came out Thursday.
Right.
So Friday night, that's right. So from Friday night to Saturday night was his biggest trafficking, right? And within that, everybody, there was over 3 million players. So how the hell could they play that game if they didn't buy Game Pass? Listen, we already can do the simple math. Let's just say if everybody upgraded their Game Pass subscription to Game Pass Ultimate for $1, that means Microsoft just made $3 million. Because what's 3 million times 1? We know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So, right. But we know it wasn't everybody doing that. We know there was people that paid for that Game Pass Ultimate at $14.95. So when you throw a couple of them in there, Microsoft made a killing off of that initial release.
Yes, they did.
And to have over 3 million people, now here's the record breaker, to have over 3 million players on a weekend, that's a 2-day span. That's a Friday night to Saturday, that's within 24 hours. Within a 2-day schedule, but within a 24 hours, because that's Friday night to Saturday night. So you're looking at 40. You're looking at a good 48. A good 48. 3 million. No other game this generation had that many gamers on it. Yeah, I get you, Vodka. He made sense. He says, since it's Kate's story, the music might differ. Don't be like those people that say Halo is safe because Reach is on PC. They might just have to paste the word Bungie to it. Halo 5 so the fans will like it. That's correct. We want to be careful about what we say here. He's correct. The music, he made sense. I never thought about that. The music, if in his case what he's saying is, because the story is of a different situation, meaning this is Kate's story, now you got a different music. She's got her own soundtrack, which I understand.
Her own theme.
Right. Yeah. Now, hey, you know what? Vodka made good sense. That made sense right there. I wasn't even thinking like that. But like I said, they still put those little chimes in the game that had the original Gears sound and feel to it. So that's why I said what I said, because despite that, they still put that in there. Nobody can take that away. So it was in there. But he is so true with that. And on him talking about, don't be like those people that say Halo is safe because Reach is on PC. Man, I agree with him 100%. But watch this, Vodka. Let those type of people look stupid. Because remember, none of the Xbox games nobody wanted. Xbox don't have games. Remember that. That's the narrative. So, the PC fans just showed us how thirsty it is to be a PC gamer. They went out and bought this. How old is Reach? Reach is so old, we forgot about Reach. And yet they went out and like it was a brand new game. They bought over 2 million copies. 2 million copies on PC. But Halo was supposed to have been dead, remember? Nobody plays Halo. And yet the PC community said, I digress. I digress. That's what the PC community did. And guess what else they did? By paying for Reach, y'all donated to the Xbox Foundation, making sure that we get games like Crossfire X. So we just want to say, Thanks to all our PC players on Steam who went out of their way,
Right.
bought this game, and are making sure that the Xbox brand remains strong. Thank you all. We appreciate you. And we hope, thank you, and we hope in the near future you keep on donating because honestly, I don't see one PC game out there that anybody's talking about. I don't hear no headlines about y'all's games. So if it takes our games to make you get a taste of what excitement that we get, hey man, I'm all for it. I hope you can enjoy these great Xbox games that we know about.
There must be a way
Right.
to shut down the security system.
Anything you want to throw in,
eliminate
Sherm?
the
Anything that I
lockdown
skipped
ends.
in 2019?
No,
I
man.
mean, yo, Vodka, is there anything that I'm skipping? I mean, we're
you know
on
what?
gears.
Elevator
We're on
control.
gears, so
Get those automated
Well,
turrets
let me
online.
just say this.
We're trying, Governor. Security tower doors jammed.
I just want to throw in.
Automated
I
turrets.
feel the need to
Those
throw
could be
this in.
useful.
And this may sound a bit counterintuitive, but just bear with me for a
that's
second.
true. Vodka said they're fans that don't know 343 is OG Bungie. They don't know no better, bro. That's correct. Actually, the facts on what he's saying is the real lowdown is that Bungie is just a split of 343. It's the same. They're the same. They're just some
Right.
of them just did not want to go. They didn't want to sign the new contract with Microsoft and stay. They wanted to
Right.
do their own thing, and the
Right.
other ones did. That's all it is. Same people.
Right.
And now look, it feels good. Oh, glad that he said that. Sure. Real quick, before I'll let you talk, I'm glad he said that. Okay, hold on, Vodka. I'll mention that in a minute. What was this about Destiny? You know, and and another shining moment in 2019 is when Destiny, after not living up, after the fans of PlayStation didn't take care of it, which we knew.
Right.
We knew it was going to
Right,
happen.
it did.
Now Bungie is sitting
Right.
up here where they belong on stage with Microsoft. It was a beautiful moment.
Night
It's
Commander,
beautiful
just
to hear
showed up
them
with
say they're
reinforcements.
ready to get back to playing some games. And it was good to see them smiling, man, because people really,
Right.
the relationship wasn't that great at first. We know that. And to see that they worked out some things and people are smiling and being respectable, hey, man, that made me feel good because honestly, let me let everybody know what's up with the Xbox brand. First of all, it's the only brand where you're going to play all the shooters. Halo, Destiny, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Gears of War. Well, that's the first party. Gears of War. You don't find no other console that's going to give you those shooters. Star Wars Battlefront, that's 6. You're not going to find no console
Remember, they're
that gives
weak
you
on
those
those
shooters.
glowing orbs at the sides.
Xbox is the only console that's going to give you all of those shooters. Period. Facts. Point blank. Period. It's not even up for debate. So that in itself is a major feat, man. Now that we know that Destiny is not over with, the story continues, and the new Xbox is coming out, and they're on a good relationship with Bungie. Man, it's a good thing, man, for us Xbox fans. It's just a good thing, man. I can't wait, man. He says, how is Gears 6 going to reflect your choices? For me, it's not. I'm a Gears fan, so I literally can't wait for Gears to come out. I literally can't wait, man. I'm so excited. I love the way that the story is going. It's needing to be
Looks
coming
like we're all
out
clear.
about how Kate,
Spartans.
well, how
Said you were
the
going.
story of the Queen, the story of the Queen. Her story needs to be cleared up, and I like the direction that they're taking it. Phil Spencer and Mike Ybarra says, shout out to Destiny, even though they didn't give us September 2015 content to the end of October 17. I meant story choices. Oh yeah, I'm liking the way they're going with it, man. I want them to finish it up real good. You know, we got one more to go. And then I want them to expand. That's why I like Gear Tactics. Gear Tactics is actually the beginning of Kate's story. It's gonna let you know the situations of the Kate family, from what I'm hearing, and that's awesome. And then I just want that'll be the end of Marcus Phoenix. Don't kill Marcus Phoenix off. Don't kill the Delta Squad off. Let them ride off into the sunset.
We've
But
seen Prometheans lots of
bring
places,
forth
but there's always been a forward
Jace.
element.
Bring forth. Look, we
Yeah,
got
so?
people,
Meridian
right?
was a fully settled colony.
We got stories.
No record of
Bring up
Forerunner
these
discoveries
stories.
yet.
Let us
So
play.
why are
Bring
there
back the
Prometheans
old
here
Gears of
now?
War look.
That's
Like
what I'm
Gear Tactics is
asking.
doing. And
Have
let's
you been
keep
listening?
playing.
You know,
Gears is
you
so
can run
deep.
with Veronica
We don't
real
have to
nice,
get
man.
stuck just on the Delta Squad story. We don't have to.
Right.
Player story.
Meridian Station's a bit down the road. We should grab a Warthog, get driving.
For me, not for Gears. Let Gears be unique the way it is. If they want to do something like that, I'm looking for a new IP. Make for a new IP. That's me. I'm trying to figure out how I did this. How you do this? This pound thing. I forgot about that. How you do the pound thing? There it is. That's my opinion on it. That's my opinion on it, Vodka. Others might think that's a good idea, but for me, I don't think it would be. But that's what is it? Now that's what we're at Gears 5, and we're still in 2019, and Microsoft is still getting hated on. So now we're at a point where Blair Witch comes out for a little bit. What else comes out? What else comes out, y'all? Help me out. What else in 2019 was a big hit? Regardless, the news is news. Oh, we want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Sherm. Did I forget something?
Yeah. Well, I don't think that you would have forgotten it. Maybe I would like to believe.
So when this planet is chipped out of the
nobody
glass,
else brought it
who
up,
has
you
land
would have
rights?
touched on it
No way to
before
be sure of old
the end
property
of the
lines.
show.
Land will be
But
sold
I'll
to
just
cover
go
the
ahead
cost of the
and
cleanup.
swing for the fences and bring
This
this
road
up
will lead
myself.
straight to
As far
Meridian
as
Station.
things in 2019 that didn't get appreciated the way it should have.
That's right. We're
And
coming to
again,
that.
like I was, and like I was saying earlier, this may sound a bit counterintuitive, but if you really think about it, I think you'll agree with me. I'm gonna go with Game Pass.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
Man.
gonna go with Game Pass.
Boy, you nailed it with the ultimate hate when it comes to
Record
that.
River. Report in.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Game Pass. It's funny to me because now I don't think that there's
Make damn sure
anyone
they don't get through
in
to
the
town.
Microsoft camp. I don't think
Governor, if
anybody
you open the bridge,
who has
Osiris
an
can help
Xbox,
Meridian Station.
even if
I
they
let you
haven't
through,
signed up
those
for it,
monsters will follow.
I think
No
at
way.
the end of the day they really
If you
realize,
want to help,
okay,
then
yeah,
secure that
this
bridge.
idea makes a whole lot of sense. And you know, by now, if anybody who has an Xbox has not signed up for Game Pass, I mean, the question at this point is, well, why? Especially considering the fact that they've made it ridiculously easy. I mean, laughably easy to sign up. All the different deals that they're basically throwing it at you. So within the Xbox community itself, I think it's pretty safe to say that most people have at least given it serious consideration if they haven't already pulled the trigger.
True.
My issue is not with them. It's with it's with the community at large, and you know whether that the community, you know, when I'm not going to even throw Sony into the mix, at least not yet. But even within game journalism, I've read more than a few articles about, well, wait a minute, how can Microsoft do this? Aren't they all about making money? And how can they come up with this service? And how can they stand to sustain it for any length of time? And you know, Big Phil keeps telling them over and over how. But it's one of those things where I honestly envision in my head where when he ad nauseum keeps telling them how they're doing it and how they're going to sustain it, and yet you keep seeing over and over. Well, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. How can they do this and make money? It's almost as if they're sticking their fingers in their ears and going, la 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 la. I don't want to hear
Across the bridge, closer to town.
When
There's others that could use your help.
if you remember,
We can do that,
years
sir.
and years ago,
All right.
back in 2014, back in 2014, you mentioned that, look, this is going to be the Netflix of gaming. Now, for those people who may have forgotten, you know, Netflix is this huge behemoth. It's a juggernaut now. But when Netflix first hit the scene, their pricing structure was exactly the same that Xbox is doing with Game Pass right now.
That's right.
I mean, exactly the same. And
that's facts.
Fast forward, because people tend to forget, and it's easy to do. I'm not hating on anybody that has forgotten. But, you know, most people have forgotten that Netflix
Heard
is
you were in
barely
a
10 years
relationship
old.
with someone else in the service.
I don't even think it's 10 years old
How
yet.
do you do it?
Might be 9 years.
Can't possibly see much of each other, being on mission all the
So,
time.
It's hard, but we make it work.
go back in
Why you ask,
time
Tanaka? You got your
to
own
roughly 9 or so years
No.
ago,
Just was wondering, that's all.
when Netflix was first starting. Pricing structure was exactly the
The
same.
soldiers can drive.
People were saying back then, well, wait a minute, how can they do this? It makes no sense. This will never work. You know, that type of thing. And, you know, look at it right now, and Netflix is the industry standard as far as that particular industry is concerned. So, Phil Spencer looking at that business model and saying, you know what, we could do that with games. And he's been saying that. He has been preaching that sermon since 2014. Now, fast forward
They have a
to
tank.
right now, because
Why do they have a tank?
correct me if I'm wrong,
Gift horses,
but
Vale.
Game Pass has been around about 2 years now, right? Going almost 2 years, correct?
That's correct.
So,
It's on its second.
now-
It's in the second year. Yep.
Yeah, we're in our second year. So now,
That
think
knight's
about
got a
this
scatter
for a
shot. Watch the spread on that.
And he let it slip. No, you know what? I take that back. I don't think it was Phil. I don't think Phil Spencer was the one. It might have been. I don't think it was Aaron Greenberg. It was one of the upper echelon cats on Team Xbox. It definitely wasn't Larry Herb.
Well done, Spartans.
But one of the.
Head over to the garage.
You know what?
I'll have Billy open up.
Spartans?
It may have been Ibarra.
Billy, they're gonna
It
need
might
to
have been
borrow
Mike
your
Ibarra.
toy. They'll
But
get
I
more use
remember
out of it than you
one
will.
of the top guys
Right.
let it slip.
That's right,
One of the
Bobby.
top
No.
guys let it slip as far as the subscription numbers. Because,
Right.
you know, Xbox, as we all know, they've gotten out of releasing specific numbers as far as whether it's console sales. The only number that they're pretty keen on
Area's clear. Meridian Station's just
releasing
up
with
the
any
hill.
regularity is the amount of subscribers for Xbox
Right.
Live.
Exactly.
But if you notice, they have not officially released the amount of subscribers for Game Pass.
No.
But back in late spring, early summer,
But let me cut you right there before you say
one
that.
of them
You
slipped
remember-
up and they released the number.
Do you remember when it said Game Pass has over 10 million subscribers a month?
And that's what I was
That's
getting,
it.
that's what I was about to work. That's what I was
That's it
getting
right
ready
there.
to mention.
There you go.
They let
Okay.
that slip, and then
Yup.
they hurried up and
And kind of got quiet on it again.
Yeah. They didn't disavow it,
No.
but they changed the subject real quick.
Right.
And when they did that, now honestly, when I read that number, I think it was to be honest, to be specific, I think they said it was at 9.5 million or 9.8. It was just shy of 10 million. Which,
Yeah,
if
no,
you
it said-
think
yeah, it
about
said
it,
10, yeah.
in less than 2 years, that's extremely
right.
impressive.
That's exactly
So,
right.
and that was when it was at $9.99 a month. That was
That's
before.
facts. it went down and started doing what it was doing. That's true.
Right.
That's true.
So, now, so if you think about that, if you think about that real quick, within less
Spartans,
than 2 years,
you're close to Meridian Station now.
so almost
If you
at that
could
point it was
clear out
almost
the
a
land
year
between
and a
where
half,
you are and town.
and that
course,
subscriber base is that high.
Wow.
Right.
Pretty quick turnaround from get off my planet
that
to,
short
hey,
amount
can
of
you
time.
help?
At least he's talking to us. That's
See,
a start.
this is the reason why a lot of people don't really understand why Xbox and Microsoft, they're not sweating console numbers.
Now watch this. Now here comes some big facts. This is what's funny and scary. Vodka, you're right.
Yeah.
Now here's a funny moment, Sherm, because you're not on Mixer, you can't read it, but I'm not trying to cut you off. Look, watch this, because what you're saying he's vibing off of. It's at 10 million, let's just say that, when PS Now had 800,000. They didn't even have 1 million when that news came out. That is exactly right. That is exactly right. And see, that's a funny moment. That's a funny moment because,
oh, it's hilarious.
Dude, if that doesn't show you the BS, the hidden BS of PlayStation, I don't know what else does, man. They didn't even have a 1% a base. That's not even a 1% base.
Right. Exactly. Which again, see, but you know what? That statement alone,
Right on our doorstep, Spartans.
you could talk about, you could branch out into other
Cyrus,
areas.
clear the area
just
so they can
off of
open the
that
gates.
Statement itself. I mean, when you've got an install base,
stupid. Sir, fuck.
Yes, sir.
Now they got 2 million once the price dropped. It took that, and guess what? Now people will damage control that, right? And say, well, look, it's got 2 million, dude. That's just 2% of your. That's 2% of your install base. It's still garbage, but here's the thing: you made your company drop its price, which Sony needed that money. See, Sony didn't want to do it. You forced them to do it.
Is that good?
You didn't help Sony by making them drop that price.
No, not at all.
The rise didn't go up that much. You know, you're talking about what, 400,000? A 400,000 gap. That's right. Because when you take 800 plus 800, that's just 1,600,000. That's so 400,000. If you did it off of just simple terms, right? That means they gained 400,000 people from that amount. That's trash.
Yeah, more or less.
You see what I'm saying? If you did it like that, if you looked at it like that, that's trash.
And even look, let's just keep it real. And even off of that by itself, okay, so what? They reduced the price, but look at what you're getting. You're still not getting anywhere near what Game Pass is offering.
No, you're not.
Not even close. And
the games that they're offering are dead games. They're already dead. They're not. You're giving your fans games that they don't even play anymore.
Right.
Like, come on, man.
And according to Jim Ryan, he has no interest in changing that narrative anytime soon.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he said it himself. So
yeah, he said it himself.
Right. So for folks who are holding out hope that, eventually, our service is just going to be like yours. No,
it's not.
No.
That's what, and you won't have it. This is just to get y'all. This is just to make that y'all making that subscription thing look nice right now. This is to keep the heat off of them. Keep the heat off of all that stupid press, because that's what Sony worries about. They're more worried about what you got to say about them than results.
But again, here's the thing, and you touched on this, and it's such an important point.
Still a few of those things out there, Spartans.
Just have chosen to ignore, or they just don't get it. And I refuse to believe that they just don't get it. They're just choosing to ignore it. I refuse to believe that people are just stupid. Right. I'm not calling anybody stupid.
Right.
I want to make that clear. The thing is, when you've got supposedly, underline the word supposedly, when you supposedly have a total install base of over 100 million.
Right.
Well, looks like you've done
And in the case of
Never
PS
thought
Now,
I'd thank the UNSC for a damn thing.
you know, you barely, you haven't even hit 2 million yet. I mean,
That's true.
percentage-wise, that's nothing. Which again, like I said earlier, you can apply that theory to a whole host of other topics within that same realm. Okay, yeah, all right. Spider-Man sold how many copies? What did they say? Something like 15 million total, I think. It was either Spider-Man or Gears of War. One of the two.
That's right.
But you got an overall install base of over 100 million. So you're looking at, best case scenario, let's say it sold 15 million copies. So 15% of your overall install base. I mean, look, if I'm creating a game in an ecosystem where over 100 million units have been sold, then I'm expecting, I would hope at least 80.
That's right.
Governor Sloan,
At least
I
80.
was hoping we might have a word.
So wait, you're telling
Come
me?
into town and
I mean,
we'll talk.
think about it.
I
For a second.
trust you
That's
won't
actually
cause any
poor
trouble.
business. That's actually
We'll
a
be with
bad
you.
that's
business strategy.
Yeah, that's
Tanaka,
right.
what kind
It
of
really,
welcome
really
can we
is.
expect this
That's
fall?
why people
Nobody
laughed
talks
at
about
it
that.
from the
Frontier
jump.
colony like
No,
this?
nobody want.
No,
No, because
Right.
they don't
Nobody
want
talks
to.
Best
about that.
suggestion is to keep
Right.
weapons down and hands
But
off.
But it's what it is.
But now flip the script. Okay. So with Xbox, here we've got okay, yeah. I gotta say Xbox a little bit quieter because it just activated my the voice activation on my Connect.
Here come the Spartans
But
Governor Sloan was talking to.
but you know, with when
Is
it
that
comes
Governor
to
Sloan?
Xbox and the brand itself, now the fact that Game Pass, if it hasn't surpassed 10 million,
Right.
it's really, really, really close. And yet, Xbox doesn't get the accolades that it deserves for that because, you know, supposedly the naysayers keep going on and on and on about, oh, well, you know, Xbox One has only
He's an
sold
AI.
somewhere in
What's
the
wrong with him?
neighborhood
He looks
of
broken.
35 to
Rampant
40 million,
fiancé.
which we all
Late
know is
stage
not
from the
true.
books.
But
Probably
it's
sacrificing
way more than
resolution
that.
for
But
logic
okay,
cycles.
let's
I
just
have
go with
welcomed
what
you
they
to my
say,
home.
with the narrative
Do not be so
that they,
rude as to make my
with the
health
clickbait
a point of
narrative.
conversation.
That,
Right.
oh,
Of course,
it's only,
Governor.
you know,
My
35,
apologies.
40 million.
We're looking for
I mean,
another
I
Spartan
read
fire
that
team.
as recently as
Why
last
so many
week,
Spartans
which,
here? Why not?
you know, so you're, now
I'm
keep in
unaware
mind
of other
that
UNSC
number,
agents in our
that
midst,
35 to
but
40
you've done
million,
right by
that
my
was the
people
number
so
that they put
far.
out there back in
Have your
2017.
look, but make it quick.
So you mean to tell me here it is
Governor Sloan,
2019 and it's still sitting at
So where
35,
are we
40
still
million?
looking?
I mean,
the best
that's not
intel in
even
a place
logical.
like this comes from the people.
And that
That's
hasn't
right.
taken
Keep
into
your ears
account
open.
the verified 10 million plus sales of the Xbox One X.
That's right.
So remove the Xbox Scorpio out of the equation for a minute.
Just me.
They're still saying.
I heard we got
here
hit here and hopped a mongoose back.
Oh my goodness! I said that too loud. It did it again. Remove the Scorpio out of the
Any
equation
markings?
for a second.
Pound
If
glass,
at
UNSC.
2017 they
problem
were
if your
saying,
buddies
oh,
didn't
only
tell you where
35
to
million
park.
Xbox Ones
You ought to
have been
synchronize your
sold,
drop zones
and then
better
here it
next
is,
time.
almost 2020.
Catch that?
We're sitting
Sounds
on
like
the
it was
eve
a
of
UNSC
2020,
ship.
and they're still saying the exact same thing as of last week. That is faulty.
What happened
But
over at the
yeah,
comms
you're right.
tower?
with that being
Station
said,
signal was
let's
coming
just
through.
say, for the sake of
Distress
discussion,
call.
that they're right.
But then
That it is
the
at
tower
35,
caught
40
fire.
Okay, Ed.
And
Just relax.
And
Painkillers should kick in soon.
less than 2
we heard
years,
yelling about things
Game
coming up out of
Pass
the caves. Then
has already
screams
surpassed 10 million.
and nothing.
That's a
right.
big deal.
That's
So
a big
so
deal.
we're talking.
It's not even on the
we're
same right.
talking-
Game
right,
Pass
we're
working,
talking-
Did
basically.
you hear
Game
anything
Pass
else?
is working.
Any other transmissions?
That's
Thank
bottom
you.
line.
There was nothing else.
It's working
The signal
big
went
time.
dead.
But yet,
Exactly.
You got the gaming
couldn't
press
signal
out here
back.
who
You're
tries
right.
to poo-poo
Governor
it,
Smoke
Sloan
who
will take
tries
care of
to
it.
play it off like, oh,
We might be able to
well,
help. Where
how
was that
can
transmission sent from?
how can they sustain it?
UNSC
And
swooping
that's
down to
just
take our claim.
what they say. That's
I'll
just
tell
the
you what,
negativity
our
that they
folks at
apply
Apogee are
to
plenty
it from a
strong.
business perspective.
Don't
But
think we
then
vultures can pick
there's
up
the
bones
quote-unquote
fast.
artistic
What do you
or
say? Apogee?
the
I think that's our
gamer
location.
expression, the perspective,
So
I should
Apogee
say.
came under attack,
Where,
and then a
you know,
UNSC
and I'm
ship was
sure
seen heading that
everybody
way.
who's listening
Find a
and
network
Legal, I know
terminal.
you've
I
seen
want to
it
know more
yourself.
about Apogee
I think
Station.
we even talked
Artemis
about
ought
it
to be
a
able to
couple of
track down a
times,
suitable
where they
network
claim
terminal.
like, oh,
Ping
well,
it.
you know, the content within Game Pass is subpar. Oh yeah, you know what? I even read somewhere where they called Game Pass what did they say? They called it welfare for gamers. What? I mean, seriously? So you mean to tell me that because it's the best value in the gaming industry right now, all of a sudden the content's going to be subpar and things, you know, they just constantly shower down negativity on it,
Accessing
which
terminal.
in reality is the furthest thing from the truth.
So
That's why I figured I
Your
would toss
people saw
Game
UNSC
Pass
ship
in
out near
that
Apogee Station.
in with your question,
UNSC,
because
Apogee.
it's,
Why are you
it's
people all over
totally
my planet?
unjustified
With your
as
permission,
far as
we'd like to go ask
any
them
negativity
ourselves.
that it receives.
There's a cargo pelican on the Meridian Station landing pad.
It's
It'll get you out to
if
Apogee the
there was a
quickest.
problem with it,
We appreciate it, Governor.
I would
I'm
ask
sure
the
you
question:
do.
why is Nintendo actually? Why have they been in talks with Microsoft for them to create a Game Pass-like system for the Switch? Now I don't know if
That's
still
right. No, that's
talking
right.
about doing it or not.
No, you're right. That's right, Vodka. He said some fools say there's only 20 mil. Consoles give a $15 profit. It's games that make the money. That's why Redbox is eating Sony's lunch. Facts. Done. Facts. Facts. You know, it's
Very
like I
true.
said, man. It's like I said. People want to think that there's people that just can't figure this
Boarding the
stuff out,
Pelican.
man. It's not that hard to figure out. There's people you can see right through the BS. You can see right through the BS. And Shermanator, I'm glad you brought up Game Pass. I don't know how in the hell Game Pass slipped through my mind. I guess I was so into the games being hated on, but you're right. Game Pass shook up and woke up the dead, brother. In 2019,
Yes,
it
Looks
was
like we
a
got an
dead.
escort.
It was a
Be surprised if
resurrector.
they weren't.
Beautiful.
Be happy
Like I
about
said,
UNSC
anybody else
marching
out
around
there,
here.
if you hear that
Lady is
any of us
correct.
skip something,
My team's there to
mention it
keep an eye on
up.
things
This
while you
is
look
the
around.
best of
Ourselves
2019.
Spartans.
Yo,
No offense taken.
what
Governor.
about
We'll find our targets and be out
what
of your way
about
shortly.
the rumors and the speculations of the new Xbox? How Microsoft kept that buzzing, right? Kept that buzzing. And like I said, after Game Pass went, after EXO in London went, we didn't really know what to think. We was just thinking, well, maybe now, you know, they'll come up with some news about it in 2020 because we knew that. But I was on Twitter, and I remember hearing somebody ask Aaron Greenberg, "Hey, what do we expect out of the VGAs? I hear something big from Xbox." You know, somebody was just saying that, and Aaron Greenberg said, "Hey, something big is gonna happen." And he's like, "Shh," you know, he was like, "Don't tell nobody," laughing about it. So I saw that, and I was like, okay. So they're finally fixing to show a next-gen Xbox game. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Well, you were
A lot of
right.
money going into this. Where's the profit?
I'm sure your mom was signal intelligence.
And man, I'm
Sound
telling
like a
y'all,
baker's daughter.
Like-
Leanne Dortmund pays a couple generations of chumps to break off
all
the
this
glass,
stuff
then
that's
has
been
land
accumulating.
rights to
I
an
know y'all
entire
wanted me to
planet.
go into that,
It's
but
the
I'm not
long
yet.
con, but
But
we'll
all
bet.
this stuff, man, that's been accumulating, right? The PlayStation, now there's leaks. There's another big leak that's just quiet in the donkey community. That the PlayStation 5 is going to only have 9.2 teraflops. Now we're talking. Now look, this is the funny side. Now see, this is where
You
it
flew
gets
out
funny,
all
right,
this way.
people?
Is your plan to
Because
just
nobody
had a laugh
nobody
track.
here, right? Nobody here is saying that 9.2 teraflops is a bad thing. Nobody here is saying that. But what's funny is that the narrative for power has been taken from you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's funny. Because Sony typically denies false claims after a while. But for some reason, Sony isn't denying this. So we
Crickets.
may have some truth to this. Just like Microsoft isn't denying that the new Xbox may have 12 teraflops to it. Now, 9.2 versus 12, that's a big leap, bro. That's a big leap.
Yep.
That's a lot of leap, man. That's gonna make a big difference in what these two consoles can do. Now you start to see the BS, because if this thing is only 9.2, you can forget true. Listen, they're talking about all this 8K resolution over there on the PlayStation. You can start laughing at that now. You can seriously
It's
start
gonna be 8K
laughing at that.
checkerboard.
Yeah. If anything. But this 12 plus teraflops, even if it's more, you can guarantee native 8K on the new Xbox. You can guarantee that when it gets that upgrade feature. Until an 8K comes out, no, it will be upscale, but it'll be a pure upscale.
Mm-hmm.
And listen what Vodka says. I love this comment he just said. You know, Vodka's been on fire. As a matter of fact, shout out to Vodka, man. Vodka, man, hey, bro, you tearing it up tonight, fam. You are tearing it up tonight. Looking like a good candidate to get some sweepstakes, too, from the Di-RREC Gaming side of things. We appreciate you tonight, man. We really do appreciate you tonight. You earning up some good points tonight, brother. You really are. Appreciate you on the channel tonight. But he said something right here that's a powerhouse comment. Phil said after 11, and this dude got the date down, 11/7/17. Put that on your calendar, where Phil Killer said, "We will never be behind in power." And you know what,
Yeah,
man?
I remember that.
That was a bold statement, because I remember him being so disgusted on the fact of the brand, the brand of just Xbox not being in a place of respect, and he took it personal, because he was like, we're Microsoft, we're a brand of respect. There shouldn't be not one brand of ours that doesn't get that respect. Like, why would we even? It's like a slap in our face that we have a product that's inferior out there. You're talking Microsoft. And I felt them, because I've been saying it the whole time. I'm like, dude, I got an Xbox. There's a reason I bought Xbox. There's a reason why I invested in Xbox, because I know what Xbox is capable of doing. And 2020 is going to show that. And I have nothing to worry about, because I've already bought into the X. You see, it's already proven. It's already proven. We're proven to what the Xbox team can do. It just had to be wakened up. And he says, oh, you remember when PS Now stole the Game Pass slogan? Of course. Of course. You remember listen, man, it's crazy. Because even before that, when the whole S came out and the S was doing premium HDR, that was a big deal. Our HDR is real. Our HDR is certified premium. Right. It's not this bootleg type of firmware HDR. You see what I'm saying now? There's a traditional
hardware.
That's right. There's a traditional pattern going on right now. You see the one that's really has it, that's always getting hated on, and that's the reason it gets hated on, because the Xbox truly has what it says. You want them. Look, the majority are casual gamers. These are facts. No one's denying that. But that's the reason why you hate Xbox gamers, because we're not. And you can't talk like we talk. So you hate everything that it does. You hate, listen, it's okay to like Japanese games. It's okay to like pink hair, purple eyed characters. I don't care. Listen, if you like that stuff, it's cool because there's some Japanese
Yeah.
games I like. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're so blinded to the fact that when we say, hey, do you know that they really don't give two damns about you, bro? And we prove it, and you get mad? Bro, it's only because we proved it. You can't sit here.
Right.
It's been proven. It's already hit the news and everything. Listen, you don't see upbeat burrito now. He says, shut your mouth. I love it. I love it. Listen, you don't see the United States, right? You don't see any gaming console out here in the United States get severely biasly picked or judged. In America, we just have fans of all kinds. And everything can pretty much hold its weight here unless it's just that terrible. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It
Right,
doesn't,
that's
we
true.
don't care if it comes from Korea. We don't care if it comes from China. We don't care if it comes from Great Britain. We don't care if it comes from Africa.
Yeah.
We don't care if it's
If
a
it's
great.
good, it's good.
There you go. There you go. Now, that's not the same mindset in Japan. No doubt. You listen, Upbeat.
No, it's true.
Listen, Upbeat.
You're right.
Listen, fam. I cherish the whole gaming community. I understand if I'm coming in here and if you're a PlayStation fan and I'm talking about PlayStation and you tell me to shut my mouth. Listen, fam. That's expected. Right. I'm not going to come in here and tell you, listen, man, don't tell me that. I'm kicking you off. As long as I can tell when things are on the line. You know, I can tell, man. I can tell. You didn't come in here all crazy. And if you're just joking, you're just joking. And if you're not, that's cool. But what I'm saying is, there's a difference in the Japanese culture, right? They tend to lean specifically on their culture. And listen. Oh, there you go. Okay. Right. Nah. If it and he says even if it comes from Mexico, F it. Nah, you're right. Listen, if it comes from Mexico and it's a good product, we all in. You see what I'm saying? No, in America, that's just the way we are, right? But in the Japanese culture, they tend to be biased on their culture, and there's a history behind it. See, you truly got to understand why they're like that, because give and take, the Japanese had to work hard to get themselves back to where they're at. They've had to. There he go. Listen to that. Look at Vodka. He just typed it in. The Japanese and Koreans adopted our Buy American policy after World War II. We did to the 80s. That's exactly right. That's it. That's exactly what it was. And do you know, in the 80s was the time that Japan learned off America? I did a show not long ago where I actually mentioned this. There was a 3-part to this. It was so much information that I just wanted to spill out. It was basically it was an information show, and it was about Kasara. But I went before that. I was telling everybody the Band-Aid bleeding of Sony, which people didn't understand, and they didn't understand what was going on. And I had been telling them. So I went all the way back to 2002, and I pushed it all the way up until now. So there was 17 years of history I gave within those 3 videos. Very good stuff. If y'all want to know what I'm talking about, you can go on the YouTube channel Di-RREC Gaming and scroll down until you see where I start talking about Kasara being terminated, or I mean not so much terminated, but being demoted, okay, from his position within Sony in the gaming industry. But before that, the head guy that had created the PlayStation, the whole PlayStation aura, right? In the 80s, like my man Vodka said. Now this was the late 80s by that time, because they were trying to come up with something that was going to be their next statement after the Walkman. Because you got to understand, when Sony invented that Walkman, they stuck on it. When Sony invents something good, they don't know how to come out of it and reinvent something else. This is the problem today, people.
Yeah.
The PlayStation 4 became their worst nightmare. This is why we said in our other video, Shermanator, Yoshida said himself out of his own mouth, I
That's
don't
right.
know
Come
why they're buying the PlayStation at this rate and so much when we're not even offering them nothing. We're not even offering them as much, but we don't understand why they're just buying it up. We can't
Those
explain
words
it.
came right out of his mouth.
The reason why is because he knew later on and down the line they were going to struggle on what to come up with that'll make our fans still enjoy our platform. We don't have barely anything out now. They didn't even think y'all were going to take care of what they had now. This is why they did all those delays. They did all those delays on purpose because they never really truly had a library for you guys.
What the
They
hell?
never did.
They're
So
out
to
here.
delay it and then to make it seem like they did,
As long as
that's
people
what they
can fight,
figured
but they
out
shouldn't
they
have
could
to.
do and get away with. When they was like, yo, we don't have nothing out for them, but if we delay and then when a year comes, we'll pack all those delayed games, right? And then it'll make it seem like we got games for them. That's what we'll do. And that's what they did. They did that for the rest of the PlayStation 4's career. They did it like that. And so to the blinded follower, he's thinking, oh man, look, we got 3 games this year. Well, listen, eventually it was going to run out. So what did Sony look like this year? They only had one major exclusive this year. One. The ultimate failure, bro, was this year of Sony. And it was Days Gone. And Days Gone got a yellow on Metacritic. Now, remember I said I was going to come back full circle on Metacritic. Now, there's a difference between when you use Metacritic to make the Xbox look bad about its games, but yet its games are still selling. Its games are still being played. But it's another thing when you try to make your platform look good off the same thing that you criticize Xbox off of, and your game literally flops on it. That's where it gets funny. Days Gone flopped on the same thing that y'all use against Xbox, and it flopped on it. The whole year you have nothing. And then that's what made the Death Stranding thing look so funny, because you guys swore up and down it was going to be exclusive, and it ended up being a console exclusive. And it may not even be that soon.
Right.
You guys may lose that, because once it went to PC, it puts itself in danger of Microsoft.
Right.
Yo, Kojima loves y'all. Well, let me tell you what he loves more. He loves money more than he loves y'all. So if it doesn't make dollars, there you go. And he needs it.
Yep.
He needs it for his new studio. So you think he's gonna limit his game to one hustle for you guys? Come on, y'all. Y'all need to stop bugging, man. Y'all aren't the special. You guys are not the special gamers of the industry where developers look at you guys like y'all are special. Man, they're looking at how they gonna make this money. And that's the bottom line. That is the bottom line.
Let's move on. See if we can find any signs of blue
So,
tape.
up to Vodka's thing, and we'll keep moving. I wanted to say that the guy now that's taking over Xbox, right? The guy now, the new Kojima, Yoshida. I'm sorry, the new Yoshida that has taken over. It's a different Yoshida, but their names are Yoshida. This one's the one that's running Sony now. He had talks with the creator of PlayStation for
the Prometheus. I want to look at that prowler.
And he went to talk with him because he's about to bring back the old order. He's about the old order. That's what's going on. It's the new order with Mark Cerny and Sean Layden and all them guys. They're gone. They're gone. Kazgaraj. They're all gone because those guys were only band-aiding for Sony. They wasn't making long-term deals or visions that were going to keep keep Sony at a major as a major market company. They were making things too too short of a vision. None of their stuff that they were doing was going to last long. Yeah, they were only just taking care of the the todays. They wasn't taking care of the tomorrows. And you can't run an effective business doing like that. That's why Microsoft is a $1 trillion company now, because their vision is long. Their vision is actually 40 years long.
Reinforcements, look sharp.
That's crazy. 40 years long. These are facts. 40 years long. So with a vision like that, it's going to be hard to lose. It's going to be hard to lose at that. So he basically said this. We're at a point where we're going to have to learn from America again. And he said the last time he said this was in the 80s. And so now, this is why Sony is quiet.
Clear the remaining
Because
hostiles.
now they have been told to be quiet, and they've been told to sit back and watch Microsoft for a minute and learn how to succeed. This is coming from the head guy himself, the guy who is the creator of your PlayStation console. Because, like I said, they get to a point where they can no longer be creative. They have to stop. And that's your true meaning. And Vodka was dead on it when he said that. And it happened after World War II, because they got bombed. They had to restructure their economy. And so there's a lot of pride there. You can be mad at it, but at least understand it. But at least understand it. They had to go through being dropped bombs, man, atomic bombs on them.
Right.
So I mean, and so in America, it's like, hey, we may not like your product, but some people will buy it. But in Japan, no, bro. They stick together
Blue
so
team just
hard.
left their prowler
I mean,
parked in the middle of everything.
it's ridiculous how they stick to one thing.
Ship's log might
To
tell us
one
something.
thing. And so since Sony was in need of money so much, we found out that they were borrowing from the government. The Japanese government finally told Sony, listen, we're not loaning you any more money. And that was the result of Sony having to leave Japan. They could no longer get their money from their government. They had to start shutting down their stores across the world to get the equity back into their company. So that's why you saw the stocks drop as low as 19. They had dropped to 19 before that stuff started coming up. And then you have the blind followers, right? When they were bringing it up, oh, look, they're okay. No, the reason why you see the money like it is now is because they had to go back and drop all their stores across the world. There's no more Sony stores in the world. So that money had to go back into the company. That money is why you saw their numbers go up. It wasn't because they was making money.
Data, right? Should get a move on that.
There, a console inside the deployment.
You just gotta know what you gotta know what you're talking about. Look, Vodka said no one put up Days Gone gameplay on YouTube until 2 weeks later. Mortal Kombat killed it. Exactly, bro. And it was and you know what? They was afraid, they was scared to do it. They was ashamed to do it because nobody wanted to get made fun of putting it up there with all those bugs and glitches. They wanted to hide all of that, remember? They wanted to act like they wanted to hide all of that.
Looks like a map of Apogee Station.
You're exactly right. So now we get off of that tip. And what is it?
Governor Sloan.
Now Sony pulls out.
We're looking for access to the
rabbit
mine
out the
near our
hat.
position.
Damn strange.
The soldier you're chasing is down there.
And Kojima,
not likely.
Kojima was so scared to talk about it because he knew the game was garbage.
Governor.
He knew the game wouldn't make no
Opening
sense.
the door for you
He
now.
knew it. He saw the game. He was, when you saw Gears 5, what would you think your game is gonna do something like that? And then when we would see it, man, it made no sense. The day I saw that ladder come out, man, I cracked up, bro. The day I saw that ladder, I said, you got to be. This is a reason why I don't buy no PlayStation, man. I just died. I was like, these, if they're sitting up here trying to make me buy a PlayStation now with this game, they ultimately failed horribly. And this ladder is supposed to bring their community together. That's their type of Xbox Live experience. Like, if you don't know how to cross over between hills and mountains and valleys, somebody else did, you can go to their ladder and you can use it and y'all can congregate about how I crossed this path. It's hilarious, bro.
Don't make sense.
Like that to
going
them
into the
is
mountain.
gaming to them.
They were supposed
They're
to be
not
chipping
even
off
on
the
our level,
grass,
bro.
not
Like
digging in the
that's
dirt.
what I'm talking about.
Sounds
Like
like an object lesson
you
in properly
can't
following
literally
orders.
get mad at a PlayStation fan, bro. You cannot do it. If you literally get mad at a PlayStation fan, you an Xbox fan, then I blame you. Because it's like it's like taking a 3-year-old seriously, bro. You cannot do that. Like you can't take them seriously. Just You gotta understand them, man. You just gotta understand them. But you can't take it seriously, bro. They're casuals. They're casuals, man. Their gaming experience is totally underneath your gaming experience, bro.
100%. Bottled up.
You know, that's a very, very good point.
Yeah, you can't.
And you know what? That right there, that point is very.
Yes, it is.
It's very disarming, and here's what I mean by that. So I don't think there's anybody who's even remotely into gaming who would challenge the notion that overall Nintendo, their core audience is kids.
Right.
I mean, you know, they've said as much.
But do you know? But you want to know what's funny about Nintendo? No, you mean their games are kiddish. But do you want to know what's funny? Nintendo has the oldest gamers on the planet.
Oh yeah, I know they do. But as far as their target audience,
right? Yeah, their target audience are little kids, and their games still sell. That's true.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So now, you know, a while ago, Sony tried to position themselves as being all things to all people, so to speak.
It was funny, wasn't it? It was funny.
And we all know how that turned out.
Right.
So I think they eventually settled with the notion.
It's like they don't even know what they want to be, man. You know, it's like they don't want to.
Kinda. I don't think, honestly, I don't really. The way I look at it is this. At the end of the day, I really don't believe that the decision makers within Sony, especially within the PlayStation arm of Sony, I really don't think that they really view themselves as creating a product for hardcore gamers.
No.
Because
No.
Let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it real. If they did, when they were in the process,
is that ladder more reliable than PSN? No, go ahead, man. Is the ladder more reliable than PSN? Let's ask Shermanator that.
Let me get back to you. give me a minute to think about it, and I'll get back to you.
Go ahead, sure. I just happen to see that, man. Good stuff, man. That's some funny stuff.
That's actually. But you know what?
This area is secured.
That's kind of a legitimate question.
Governor Sloan, there's a door blocking our way at this location.
I don't think
Opening now, Spartan.
that.
Joe Sherm, real quick. Hold your thought.
Blue team
Fox is talking
combat
with
through
you.
here.
So I want you to know what he said.
Found another entrance?
And he made a valid
Money's on
point,
the
dude.
Prometheans never engaging.
Nintendo is a cult.
That doesn't make
They
any
get
sense.
by on name
Making
recognition.
sense and being a fact are always
Non-gamers
the
know
same thing.
Nintendo and buy their kids and grandkids Nintendo. Do you know this guy? Though this guy is dead on, bro.
Well, that's very true.
Do you know why and you know what?
True.
That's why we don't hate on Nintendo, because Nintendo has done something that no other console has done, and that is make money simply off their damn name. That's what Phil Spencer is trying to do now. Phil Spencer is trying to make Xbox money just by Xbox. So if you see the word Xbox, you're gonna go get it. If there's look, you go to Walmart, bro. Vodka is so true, because Nintendo now isn't about just video games. It's about underwear. It's about pajamas, T-shirts. You go to Walmart, dude, you can get Super Mario Brothers underwear. You can't get Halo underwear.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's beyond that. Like,
Right.
it's
Right.
Nintendo, and it's just like it said, because it's in those stores like that. Your grandma sees it, you know, your grandpa sees it, and he thinks, well, this is what it's the Kleenex of gaming. Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's why we don't even take Nintendo fans
Watch your
seriously.
heads.
I mean, have you seen their esports, like, or what they think is esports is Smash Brothers, bro? You ever seen Smash Brothers at a gaming tournament? It's like hilarious. All you hear is a bunch of button mashing. It's hilarious, bro. Like, it's funny. But I mean, listen, I'm not here to knock down
When we turn these back on, they'll make quick work of it.
my Nintendo comrades up in here. But we're speaking the truth.
Turrets on and
You
firing.
can't get mad at us for not speaking the truth. Stop it if you think that we're being biased. Or come on, man. It is what it is.
We're not
Stop
being
it.
disrespectful.
Yeah, we're not. It is what it is. All right. We love Mario too. As a matter of fact, me and Sherman ain't a root games. I don't know about Vodka, but I bought the first. I played on the first NES console. Don't even go there. I know what it's like to jump. I was part of the Nintendo. I was part of the Super Mario Bros. 3 era. That era. But that game still holds records. I bought that game so many times, bro. I don't even want to hear it. So nah, Nintendo ain't getting no smoke. It's just getting the truth right now. It's just getting the truth right now. And so because of that, like he said, and because of that, Microsoft understood how to do the Trojan horse with Nintendo. And what was that? What's that, legal? What are you talking about? They gave him that Minecraft. They gave him that real work. And Minecraft now has made Xbox very good money.
Oh, extremely. That was arguably one of the best investments.
Best moves, exactly. One of the best
moves
bringing more Prometheans.
Yeah, that they've ever done. I mean, period. And I'm including Office in that.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Minecraft, that's one of their prized possessions, easily. But I'm trying to remember, what was it that I was about to say earlier? Oh, I know what it was. Just real quick, getting back to it. The creators of PlayStation, and here's when I say creators, I'm talking about Mark Cerny and the other engineers over there, and ultimately the decision makers that give them the permission to create whatever technology that they're busy creating over there at Sony. I think that they are okay deep down. Now they may never admit it publicly, and again, like you were saying a second ago, props to Nintendo, because Nintendo repeatedly has admitted publicly that their core audience is, children, kids. They have said this publicly. They make no bones about it. They don't try to pretend to be something that they're not. And you can't help but respect that, because, they
when they're not trying, right.
Yeah, they're not ashamed of it. I mean, look, let's just keep it real. With Nintendo, you know what you're getting. There's no way in the world that anybody has ever in the history of Nintendo gaming, there's no excuse for anybody to go and approach a Nintendo product and claim that they didn't know what they were getting.
$2
bill. So when it comes to that, you can't help but respect them.
That's true. That's facts. That's facts.
Right. So now with Sony, Nintendo's got that part covered. Sony, like you said, they either don't know what they want to be. So as a result, they try to be all things to all people. And then, when you try to do that, when you try to satisfy everybody, ultimately, certain segments of your audience, they suffer. And ultimately, you run the risk of actually not being good at anything. So
that's true.
There's that part of the equation. Now, for folks who may think that Sony's trying to appeal to the hardcore gaming audience, all you have to do is look at the tech that they put into the PS4 Pro. I mean, the PS4 Pro doesn't even have an HD Blu-ray player.
Right.
I mean, that you would think they would start with that. But it doesn't,
As much as they made a big deal about it last gen,
right?
You would have thought.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You would have thought. So what happened to all that noise? What happened to all that noise? And then the biggest drought was, oh, we don't need it. It's all about games. Where your games at?
Right. But see, look, what they forgot to mention, or they didn't forget and just figured they'd play it off, is the fact that if your Blu-ray player isn't HDR compatible, then that also means that there's a good possibility that your games won't display in HDR.
That's right.
And we already, and of course we know about the fact that it can't do native 4K, checkerboarding only. So the hardcore argument on the Sony end, that's a moot issue. That it becomes no sense in even discussing it. Right. So my point, I only bring that up to say,
more Prometheans inbound
earlier about casuals.
Right.
I think Sony settled into that notion that, well, you know what, we're just going to be a casual gaming company. We're going to be the console version.
And you know what? Nothing wrong with that, but just don't have your audience thinking that they're the tough guys. They're not the tough guys, man. You know, they're not the tough guys.
Right.
That's the funny part about it.
Exactly.
Hey man, include your audio, famo. We wanted to get you in. We want to get you in,
I
brother.
did, bro.
Hey, we want to say to my man United Cast for joining us up in there. He was the third streamer, but life comes and he's a good father. He takes care of his daughter, and we here. We you know, hey man, we're here. And so since we are here,
how's it going, guys? Going good?
And you here? Oh yeah, man. And you here?
What's up?
We're just in there chilling, man. It's just Sherm.
Hey, how you feeling, man? Get a chance to meet you, man. What's going
on, brother? What's going on?
All right, man. Get ready for this next generation, brother. Get ready for the next generation.
He's coming in with the hype, but Sherman is in here. We're in here talking about the best of 2019. So if you got anything, man, you want to add, just come on in here and add. We've been on it. As a matter of fact, I'll let Sherman finish it off, and you'll see what we're talking about, man.
Well,
yeah,
just let me say this real quick.
Let him say. You'll know where he's going.
With working my way up to the next point, as far as Nintendo is
right,
Sony casual, and clearly Xbox is hardcore. The technology, hardcore. And,
right, it's not exactly.
Yeah. Which goes to and I'm going to try and segue
Area's clear.
into the overall subject of this show. My next choice for our topic is still.
There's no record of Forerunner artifacts on Meridian.
Man,
they must have just uncovered this.
Xbox One X for sure.
You know, we've seen Promethean attacks since Requiem.
Shook the industry.
No record of any this intense. Something riled them up, that's for sure.
If Game Pass took it up from the software side, from the software and services side, Xbox One X, Scorpio, I still call
similar design to a monitor.
You can.
And they don't seem interested.
Yeah, it was a such thing.
But keep
yeah,
in mind.
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Right. Oh no, I don't have to
censor stuff.
But if you want to call it,
I just like
to record everything.
I just like to
get a good look at it.
Hey, yo, Phil said you can call it that. Yep.
Right. You just showing up there.
That's some funny stuff. Yeah, he did.
But in 2019, I really do believe that
why wouldn't Sloan report a find of this size?
From a hardware perspective,
mother hell,
really came into its own.
The knocker.
I just realized. Buck was saying Blue Team didn't fight Prometheans.
I don't know if you guys
they didn't
recall,
have to sweet talk Sloan either.
In 2018,
you think Sloan let them down
every
here?
game,
reckon it's a possibility.
Games that were previously released,
but not a certainty.
Including
Sloan's hiding something.
And a few OG Xbox titles. Of course, when they got boosted up to become Xbox One X enhanced, they did a big deal out of it. In fact, they would, announced ahead of time that was going to happen. But I don't know if you guys noticed, but in 2019, there were a lot of games that received the Xbox One X.
He calls the Guardians.
Prior.
What was that?
But
well, let's go find out. Time's here.
It was just like,
move.
I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you guys. But for me, there were more than a few times where I was my Xbox, boot up the One X,
Your presence in the
go
Guardian's
to click on
shelter
a game I want to play,
is undesirable.
say, hold on while we're updating your game.
Yeah. Kind of beginning.
You know.
Now, after that, it's like sort of like. Yeah.
Are you the Guardian?
And then
I am beholden to.
You boot it up.
I stand in service to Cortana.
Textures that weren't there before.
Cortana.
Yep.
It's running.
The other humans are approved for passage. Regretfully, you are not.
Sounds like a threat.
Vacate his shelter now.
Somebody. I got updated. And yeah, when it came
That was a threat, all right.
even if you want to look at it from
Who is this guy?
download
Where'd he come from?
Something new. Defend yourselves.
2019. I believe really came to its own as far as the way they tailor the game, even not in an unspoken way. They tailor the game to take advantage of the 1X, the hardware advantage. And clearly doing it for us hardcore gamers. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, Microsoft definitely serving the hardcore gamer, and it looks like next year with the Series X, that's just going to continue, and it looks like it's going to go into overdrive. And I personally am looking forward to it extremely.
Yeah, it's gonna be some. It's gonna be a sight to see, man. There's no hype. There's no hype on the PlayStation side of things at all. That's what's so funny to me, man. Like no hype at all.
Well, of course, fully off guard. They were caught fully off guard. That's what it was. Now they're hyping up all they might show PS5 and yes, and all that stuff. Because now they wait for someone to respond, and it's like
Yeah, that's what that is. No, that's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's like they were caught totally off guard. Nobody expected that. I mean, nobody expected that. But what was good about that was because the Game Awards show, there's a lot of eyes, a lot of people out there looking at that. You know, that's a big thing. And that was just perfect to show that. CDS is not that big of a
whatever lies beyond.
I mean, it is, but it's not like Game
Awards.
Cortana is connected
that's
with
what that was
Guardian
kind of.
somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Sherm. Like that Xbox One X definitely set the tone. I believe
set that tone, man.
For just to go right into this generation, boom.
That's exactly right.
Hardware.
And it took care. It took care of the It took care of the pocket. So if you got this one now, and you can't afford the next one, you're good to go because you're still getting 4K. And listen, they haven't even used the juice out of it yet. They haven't even used the juice out of it yet.
They haven't
The
used
warden
that.
said Cortana was calling
Like I
them to
said,
her.
but it come with.
It's only been out 2 years.
It's gonna be no reason. Even when they, they're gonna be people that get that. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be that's actually gonna be the low end.
Right.
Because the S gonna probably go. You're gonna have the high one, of course.
Can't get much by
and you're gonna have the Lockhart. Once the Lockhart comes, there's gonna be no reason for any people, so anybody that wants not to be able to get in
Up here.
with the value, the prices, the Game Pass, all that stuff. XCloud just has everything about the check.
Now the Cass is saying something, Sherm, and he made me think of something, right? Because when you look at what can already give you 4K now, and that's just 4 teraflops. 4. The X is 4 teraflops, and it can give you 4K. So why?
Or the X is 6.
No,
the
I
X is 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, the X is 6. Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
but an upgrade is
that's right.
Yes, sir.
This is 6 Jaguar.
Equivalent.
Yes.
Equivalent of 7.
Stay where you are.
Almost 7 Jaguar. Right.
Yeah. So,
But when you think about it, when you think about
117, stand down.
12
Sir,
teraflops for
you are
a
absent
Zen
without
2
leave.
chip?
This is your one chance to
generation
go
teraflops,
peacefully.
Dude, it's gonna be ridiculous, bro.
And teraflops is just part of the
Blue team,
we didn't talk about
stand down.
We didn't talk about ray tracing. We didn't talk about some of the other stuff that
All
AMD
that,
Cortana's power
that's all
now,
built.
and AMD is saying this.
Like
Still
hell
not
she
saying
is.
this. Nobody else is saying this. And that's what I'm saying. Nobody's listening to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's part that that I find personally pretty well known. But for me, that's what I find about the whole.
What's that?
About the 9.2 teraflop lead for PS5. So even if you take that into account, that it's going to be 9.2 Navi. All right, yeah, 9.2 Navi that's better than just straight 9.2. That one.
I mean, yeah, that's what
but yeah, it's still powerful. However, like you said, the ray tracing that's going to be all but ray tracing is going to be software based and not hardware based. So there's that, and then it's going to be again 9.2 Navi. So compare that to Anaconda Series X. It's going to be well,
RDNA 2. Navi 21.
Don't like the looks of this.
Maybe we can get out how they got in. Go, run!
Where so many words. Ever fall behind our you know, it's the whole 9.2 thing right now.
Yeah, because at this point they can't change it, right? Because if they do, it's going to cost them extra money to have. They can't change it.
Well, that PS5 originally was supposed to have released in 2019. It was originally the PS5 was supposed to be on the market right now as we speak. That was their original timetable. But
That's
then
true.
when they found
On the
out
surface?
that Microsoft was working on a beast of a console that was going to be the successor to
That's
Xbox One, they were like, oh, wait.
Because you remember, Shermanator's right, because you remember the talks of the PlayStation 5 came out right after
we need to get airborne.
the X came out. Remember that? That's right.
And that's how it is.
Right
And that's what
after
they're doing
the
now
X
with
drop.
the PS5 Pro.
This colony
Yeah.
is being players
PS5 Pro. This thing,
can't
oh,
say
now
that
it's going to come out.
Right.
Our Pelican is on the space elevator. We could use that.
Yeah.
The other colonies,
do.
there are more
Same deal.
Guardians.
Really only concerned about the one in front of
And
us
where are
right
they
now,
getting that
Bill.
concept from?
But why this one?
Xbox.
Why is the chief on this
All
Guardian?
that's coming from
I think
Xbox,
it's
man.
the
They
first
gotta
one
learn.
Cortana
But the
activated
problem
on
is
purpose.
this: they don't have the new current technology in their hardware because Sony is a customer. You have to come. When they go to AMD, they go to AMT like, listen, what do y'all have on the market right now?
What y'all got to offer? Yeah.
Right, because Sony can't they can't have something that's off market. It has to come within something that AMD already has and can be available.
Right.
That's why they're using the Navi chip. Navi is out there. Now, you're saying, well, Microsoft using the Zen. Yeah, they're using the Zen too, but it's a co-engineered, customized, right, that you cannot get on the market. You cannot get it.
And fuse into DirectX 12 as well, man. That's
right.
And Sony don't have that.
Right.
Well,
and
Sony
no,
can't
and
afford
listen,
it.
they can't. Well, their platform can't.
They can't afford that.
Yeah, but their infrastructure is not built for DirectX 12. So Sony once again will have a DirectX 11.3. That's what they're gonna have. If any game that they get that has to require DirectX, it's gonna be the old tech. Just like I said, there you go. They're using 11.3 right now, so it's not gonna do them any good to use that. That's why Kaz knows. That's why I said everybody pay attention to this word right here, Vulcan, because once Microsoft says DirectX 12 is ours, you're not using it. They give them the old one, which is 11.3 right now. That's what they use. Sony has nowhere to go now but to Vulcan, bro. But to Navi.
Yeah.
They don't have nowhere else to go. So yeah, they're gonna have low APIs and all of that. But have you seen DirectX 12? Have you seen it? DX12 is a monster, bro, when it comes to low APIs. It's knocking it's knocking low APIs out the park, man. It's like, get this out of my face, man. This ain't nothing. What is this what y'all bringing to the table? Get this out of here. That's how boldly it's displaying itself. And it's not even funny, man. That's why I'm sitting back like, yo, it's gonna be some very unhappy campers, man, this next generation. Very, very unhappy. Like, it's not even gonna be funny, man.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, what else?
Be feeling betrayed.
Right. What else is a talker for 2019? You guys are coming up with some good stuff, man. This is the year we ended it off, man. Anything else?
Well, I mean, I feel like that they are just leading to this whole thing just naturally, just because. I mean, the year didn't. What did the year start off with? Crackdown? Is that what it started?
We ain't going back to that, bro.
Oh, we already covered.
You was late on that. We got all that.
I'm just saying. It started there, and as it came to
it did.
2019, things just got better and better and better.
It's right.
You know, and
crazy that he
here
said
we
that,
are. Just leading right into everything. You know, Gears 5. You know, just right on into what we need to be. And I mean, the next thing is, I don't know what you guys heard. I'm hearing a reveal show before E3. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know what you guys have heard.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I don't know.
Because that would make the most sense.
I don't know if it's going to be a full reveal. I don't know if it's going to be a full reveal. I think they might trickle out some, little bits of information. I really do believe, and of course I could be wrong, but I believe that they're going to treat E3 2020 like the way that they treated 2019, only on a larger scale. They're going to save the big reveal for that show, and rightfully so. I just got
up the elevator.
They're
Better
going to
keep
really
moving.
go all out. And
they're going to go all out. Yeah. I just feel that I think if they reveal it, this is just my opinion. I mean, everybody has their opinions about it. If they do a reveal in April, I think they should do a full reveal. All right, they may not talk about pricing, but they need to talk about the hardware. So when it comes to E3, all they do is drop the games. See what I'm saying? You don't want to be sitting up there talking about a whole bunch of hardware that people basically know about. So you want to get that out the way, in my opinion, and get that full reveal for the system. Don't talk about price point. You show the Lockhart, show the X, talk about what it's going to be, the specs, full specs, and everything. That way, when E3 comes around, listen, this is what's coming. And just hit it. And then, I guess throw xCloud in there if you need to. And, maybe you want to talk about HoloLens a little. I mean, I don't know. But I just think it's best to do the full review before you.
Guardian's got a hell of a singing voice.
Can we do autopilot retrieval? Bring the Pelican down to us.
I think that would work. Because you
I
got
like
a
that
lot
ship shooting
of
everything out of the sky.
a lot of games and
We're gonna
reviews,
get to the
and a lot of
Pelican and keep
studios.
messing around
I
down
just
here.
think, guys, like, we can be surprised by the wealth of games that are coming out. I'm not saying they're all gonna be AAA. I'm just saying with the wealth amount of games coming out in E3 and beyond,
right,
we're gonna be surprised. Because each studio is probably working on 2 or 3 games, and then you got teams inside of teams in these studios.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they doing stuff, you know what I mean, that we don't even know nothing about.
Right.
So, listen. Yeah.
Hey man, we're glad you came in, man. I'm glad y'all came in. I think 2019 was a fabulous year, man. I think we covered a lot of grounds, brother, and I think now that we're leading up into 2020, I'm gonna end this show by saying this, man. We got a lot of stuff to look forward to. What do you guys think about this lineup, man? Cyberpunk 2077, Halo Infinite, Gears Tactics, Beyond Good and Evil, Ori, Will of the Wisp, Crossfire X, Dying Light 2, Doom Eternal, The Avengers, the other one, the new one, Hellblade 2, and we haven't even tipped the iceberg yet. But if you an
I just want
Xbox
to say
fan,
something about that Crossfire, man.
the Crossfire is nice, but
a lot of people don't know that Crossfire X is an Xbox only game. It's not even going to PC. How
no,
do you
that's
don't know
fact.
that?
No, it's already on
Yeah.
PC. It's already on PC.
The other one is the
right.
one
The
is
other
originally
one,
on PC, but this Crossfire X one that's coming out,
that one won't
it's
be.
just
Yeah.
in the Xbox.
Right. That
That's
one
a
won't
lot of
because
people don't know.
it's got a story to it and everything. That one's not going to be the same. Exact. It's not the same one.
Yep.
But
But that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. I think 2020 is going to be very exciting, man. It's going to be a very exciting year. You guys, man, 2019 was one hell of a ride. But you know, if you're not an Xbox fan, man, you really didn't get a chance to see how things really turned around in the gaming community because it was our platform that just literally turned this whole thing upside down. And we're laughing, man, because now everything that you love to hate is conforming to Xbox now. And I just hope that, you know, you guys get a different kind of way of looking at games and gaming in general and learn from non-casual gamers. Because you're not really going to learn anything from casual gamers. Casual gamers don't bring nothing to the table.
Let's go, hurry!
They're just out there. Just out there. You got to learn. You got to learn from people that put in work.
Got too many
That's how you learn and respect gaming, man.
Understood.
By watching others who put in work,
clear the area so
do their homework, you know, pay attention, understand what's going on within the industry, and that's what it's about, man. I mean, I think we did good, man. We covered grounds. I think it was a lot of stuff that we touched up on, and it made for a good show. I really wanted to do another show before I left, and you guys came in here, man, and made that happen. I'm thankful for you guys for coming in here, making things happen, man. Di-RREC Gaming has been doing very well in 2019. Yeah, man. I waited on you, and you got on in here, man. And that's all, man. For the little short time, it's nothing, man. Me and Sherm covered a lot, man. You'll see, man, when you watch the video. But we did justice, man. And we here, man. We ain't going anywhere. I want to say thanks to everybody who makes Di-RREC Gaming what it is, man. Whether you pop up on the show or whether you watch us, man, we're grateful for you. And we're not stopping. 2020 is up next. We want everybody out there to have a happy New Year's. Live, man. Live. Life is good, man. Don't go out here and do anything foolish, man, and don't get a chance to live in 2020, man. So until next time, guys, this has been the best of 2019. Yo, Sharminator, you got anything you want to say, man?
Just as usual, I really appreciate you including me and allowing me to hang out with you. Much appreciated, my brother. And to everyone that tuned in this evening, please go out of your way to have a very, very happy New Year. If you're going to party tomorrow, and depending on where you are in the world, it's already tomorrow. So please party responsibly. As he already mentioned, don't do anything dumb and stupid. Have a good time, but have a good time responsibly. And be safe, by all means. God bless, and Lord willing, we'll see you all in 2020.
So long,
that's it, brother. Yo, Cash, you got anything you want to say, man?
Yeah, man, like I said, that's a pleasure to get me in here, man. It's the last minute here.
We get to stop
getting
being
to meet you
polite
guys.
real soon here, right?
Yeah, Sherm, you know, good meeting you. You know, talking with you about games and stuff. That's all good. Yeah, man, I hear a lot about you. But yeah, man, like I said, going into this new year, looking for some great things game-wise. Looking for some great things. Everybody just be safe out there. Have a happy new year. You know, and hey, just enjoy your gaming.
That's it, man. Hey, these guys here, my brothers, man. I appreciate you guys, too. Get through this New Year's, man. I hope y'all have a good time with your families, man. Spend that little magic moment with your families. Hey, to everybody out there, I'll be making my trip tomorrow, so I won't be able to do my shows like I want. These guys came in and made one hell of a week for me, man. Put out a lot of content. I hope it's enough for you guys. Sit back, chill, and relax. It was all purposely intended by your boy, the New Legal. I wanted to put some stuff out there. In the meantime, if I do decide to do anything, it'll be coming straight from a one-person standpoint. Y'all know how I do it, man. Just try to keep the channel going. I'll keep my ears to the streets and my eyes to the walls and my ears to the streets, man, on this game and stuff. Cause we are from the streets, man. Hey, you guys take it easy, man. This has been the New Legal.
Peace.
Representing Di-RREC Gaming.
Peace, y'all.